All right, we are back. We were athletes once podcast. We back with Randall and Marcus, back with the NBA edition. We've been a little hiatus the last 2 weeks, but we back to give y'all a little good NBA content over these last 2 weeks. With news, observations, our insight, opinions about the 30 teams. Our favorite team, of course, the Lakers, and see what they got going. Man, just give y'all some of that good content. With the NBA season officially, what I'd say a good month in. So 18 games or so in. So we're gonna kick it off. We appreciate all y'all, logged in, subscribed, like, share this podcast on all the platforms, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, um, Facebook, Instagram. We out there. So make sure y'all push and like and subscribe this podcast. Marcus, what's going on with you, big dog?
What's good, bro? How you
Ain't
feeling?
much, man. I'm feeling all right, man. Feeling all right. Ready for that Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, bro.
Just get a little bite to eat. That's it. That's it. All right, man. Kind of just going over, man. Let's talk about this. Let's just get it out the way real quick, man. How'd you feel about with LeBron coming back, man? That was a nice little taste we got. What you thinking?
I think Braun showed he could be effective, even without handling the ball the majority of the time. Because you seen in that game, Braun took 6 shots, had
Right.
11 points, and 14 assists, like 12 or 14 assists. So I think Braun did a great job. He didn't try to force the issue, trying to get his legs back out from under him or trying to score. He just got it right out there. He took what came to him, and he was a point forward. Yes, when they played the Jazz last.
I do think he definitely played that point forward position. Uh, Good at this age of his and just the miles on his body. I thought that was the Lakers put him in position to fit in. There was rumors around weeks ago like how will LeBron fit in and what would he be doing and if you know and watch LeBron over his course of his career and like him or love hate him, he. He's a savant when it comes to basketball. Like he knows how to play the positions. He knows what he needs to do. Maybe when there's already a not a need for something. He plugged in very well. I didn't think, and I thought he actually shot the ball pretty good too. Not only is he going to kind of be in that point forward, I will be looking to see that ball swing and him kind of be that wing 3 and D a little bit too. I've seen a couple of articles of the Lakers are kind of looking for a wing out there, and we've said this in the past too. We think if they can get a good solid wing that even help a lot more, especially on the defensive side too. Especially if you're not going to play Rui at the three. I mean, if you're going to keep Rui at the four, I don't even know if Rui started that last game. I actually think he did though. But I seen something for Andrew Wiggins, and I was like, you know what? I ain't too mad about if they was able to go grab him. But it's about who you give up, as well. So
Yeah, you don't
no,
want to
man.
mess with the chemistry.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with that chemistry for sure, for sure, for sure, man. So no, I was definitely hyped with the Lakers and seeing what we seen. I think that they needed that little more spark, more juice to their team. Third in the West right now, so that's always good. I think with their eight, well, just with their team finishing the season in a higher seed, I think it's going to be important to them. Getting that home court advantage is going to be important for them. So, man, shout out to Lakers, man. Y'all making us proud, man. Keep it going. Keep it going. All right, man. We're gonna transition today's episode, man. We're gonna be touching on since we've been 2 weeks out since our last preview. We're gonna cover the power rankings over these this last month. Just go through briefly each team. What we think, what needs to go on, what we see, what could help, what ain't working. So we're gonna start that off with power ranking number 30, and that's the Washington Wizards. Man, I'll let you start off on that, man. What is the Wizard problem? What's going on, man?
I just think the Wizards franchise, they really got a culture for losing. Um, Like they've been in some close games. They've been in some blowouts. I just don't think there's a lot of continuity on the Wizards. Uh and you look at like their record, they're 1-15 and they've lost 14 straight. Like and they don't have a standout star, and I think it's an identity crisis on that team where not everybody is sure of like what their role is. Because if you look at good teams, like everybody knows what their role is. So like take the Celtics in 2024. Like Derek White knows his job is a 3 and D guard. Drew Holiday knows his job is a 3 and D guard. Jason Tatum knows he's the alpha on the team. Jalen Brown knows he's the second option. Al Horford knows he's there to play defense and to stretch the floor. Like on a team like that, everybody knows their role. On the
Agreed.
Wizards, there's no true alpha, so everybody's confused on what their role is.
I agree with that. Totally agree with that. There's no role. There's no structure over there. I'd be lying to you if I told you who the coach was over there. It's just all the way. I agree, man. It's kind of a nature for losing. Um, there's a lot of Washington is a basketball state. You know they got good players. Or there's a lot of talent that's came through that DMV, that Washington, Baltimore area. So I know basketball is big over there, but it may be time to for the NBA to consider if it's it may be possible time to relocate. I don't know what's
Go ahead, go to Seattle.
go ahead and go to Seattle or Vegas. You hear me? Yeah, like, yeah. It's time to go ahead and pack it on up, man, because it's just not. Yeah, it's just not working, man. Over there, C.J. McCollum over there, Chris Middleton over there. They can't. I feel like they're on the back end of their career so much. Is collecting checks at this time, being a good vet. I mean, I'm not saying they promoting losing over there, but at the same time, I don't think it's a drive of winning over there either. I think they see what they're with. They've already accepted, look in the mirror, and say, I'm to come here, be professional, do the job best of my ability, and win, lose, we still getting paid. So there's not an emphasis, like you mentioned, a winning culture over there. Really hasn't been probably since John Wall and Brad Beal. So yeah, man, Washington, man, it's time to really go back to the drawing board. Y'all got a top draft pick, Trey Johnson, over there, man. Maybe time to really look at getting him some playing time and see. Just go ahead and develop your young guys. Uh, Alex Sarr still over there, man. I mean, yeah, it's time to change it up, man. And hey, I'll even say this: blow it on up, lose every game to go get AJ DePista. Like,
Oh,
hey,
from AJ from BYU. Oh yeah.
man. Hey, I don't know who's gonna grab him, man, but who does, boy, man. If Utah even grabs him, because we'll get to them. But yeah, man, Washington, we need you to do something, man. It's not looking good for y'all. Not looking good, man. Now we're gonna transition to the Brooklyn Nets. They number 29. Uh, Man, I'll kick this one off. I didn't think they'd be 2-9. Is that what that was? Did I say 2-9? I didn't think they'd be 2-12. I didn't think they'd be that like this. I thought Michael Porter. But they are without Cam. Um, I'm drawing blank. What's his last name?
Cam Thomas.
Cam Thomas. They are without him, I do believe, right now, so that does hurt them. But I mean, even with him, if I put that in, man, I don't see too much of a difference. Maybe 3 or 4 more games they've won. Over there too, I do feel like there's a niche for winning, but there's just a coaching staff and a team that doesn't know how to win. I do think if they had some right pieces in play, even with the way their team's constructed, I think that they would every bit be fighting for a play-in, spot. I'm not saying they'd be, a contender or anything of that nature, but they'd be fighting for a playoff spot for sure, especially with the East and how it's looking this year. I like the addition of Michael Porter over there. I thought that's what they needed. I'm not too sure, when it comes to him as well. There's been a lot of just I don't know, man. Him in the media, maybe not for hooping, but more so like his podcasting, and that type of stuff. So I don't know if that's a distraction. And sometimes that stuff can pass down to the team as well too. Because when you see your top guy, one of your top guys, not really, I don't know, committed as he should be, it just trickles down the line. And I'm not saying he's not committed. I'm a big Michael Porter fan from the Zoo, so I just wish he took more from that time with Denver, that winning culture, and really put that with Brooklyn. However that may look, it doesn't look like he's done too much of that. They paying them $38 million, so you know when they get that money, man, it's a whole different game. But other than that, man, I really just they win. Hey, they are like Washington, but in a bigger market, if you know so to speak. I think that helps
Yeah.
them being in Brooklyn. So, man, what you think?
I don't think the Nets have a true point guard.
Yeah,
And Cam Thomas and Michael Porter Jr. are kind of the same player where
yeah,
they think score first. They're neither one of them is gonna like initiate an offense or generate looks for somebody else. They'll both generate looks for themselves, and
yeah,
like they'll probably get you like 20, 25, but it'll be in losing efforts because the rest of the team isn't getting involved. And like
there
you
you go.
said, like there's a knack for there's not a winning culture in Brooklyn, but Brooklyn is a bigger market.
Yeah,
So I mean the team they'll both look good, but in losses.
in losses. Yeah, yeah, I agree, man. Totally, totally agree, man. Totally agree. Um, Trying to see. They may be in position to try to grab a top four, top five pick this year too, man. Not transitioning to college basketball, but man, that draft is going to be so deep this year. It don't surprise me if they kind of have a plan in place to get a top five, top six pick in that draft coming this year. So definitely we'll keep an eye on the Nets, man, and see what they got going for the rest of the season. We're going to transition to Indiana. With the Pacers, we know they were without Halliburton, man. What have you seen this year so far with the Pacers, man?
They just with the Pacers, you can tell that they miss Hallie,
Hmm.
uh, but also that they miss Miles Turner.
Oh yeah,
Uh, I think the absence of both of those has allowed the Pacers like and a lot of the Pacers losses, they're by double digits. Like they aren't particularly close games.
hmm,
And their two wins have come against the Hornets and who
the
else did they
Warriors,
beat?
the
The
Warriors.
Warriors.
Yep.
Every other game the Pacers have lost has been by 10 plus points. Except I'm looking at it right here, this Mavericks game. But we also know what state the Mavericks are in.
Yeah.
Um, so the Pacers have had a rough go at it this season. I really see the effect of like missing Hallie, but also missing Miles Turner.
I agree with that, man. And to piggy off of that, they've been injured. It looks like all season. I mean, just as far as even having to get Mac McClung in there. I think there was somebody else they picked up too not too long ago. Something Moores. I can't think of his name. Last name
One of the
Morris.
Morris twins?
No, no, no. He's a guard. Last name Morris. That's what I do know. But aside from that too, they got they just have the injuries over there. But one thing I will say, I give credit to Indiana is those double digit losses that they have had. At least the games I've watched, yes, they lost double digit, but they were at a point like they made the game competitive. They compete hard. Rick Carlisle, man, I don't know about man. He's a heck of a coach. With whatever's out there, I do think like what's out there, he does the best that he can. Obi Toppin's out. Uh, there was a couple games Naismith was out. Nimhar's been out. Of course, Halliburton's been out. I mean, like yeah, he's had to play Tony Bradley. Like man, that says it all for me. Like man, and I mean I know he's in the league, but man, he's 7 foot. That's about all he's out there for, man. So I think that yes, without Hallie, without Miles, it's definitely a blow. And they really would see it with Miles. Man, I do feel like without that inside, not only was he inside, he stretched the floor for them. Like he was like he's playing right now. I guess he was a Brook Lopez for them in a way. Somebody though that did catch my eye over there that they need desperately is Benedict Mathurin. He's
Oh yeah.
back though. Yeah, yeah, he is back though. The last 4 games, he's averaged 20. He's averaged a little bit over 27. So I mean, if he can kind of take on that scoring role a little bit, I mean, that'll help Indiana. I don't think it's deep playoff run or nothing like that, but they're gonna need him. They're gonna need his shot making abilities, creativity. They're gonna need him to kind of take over that one option right now, especially this season with how it just the way the season's going. So, Indiana, you get an E for effort because every time I see you guys play hard. So get healthy. Hey man, we're gonna transition to 27 New Orleans Pelicans 2-13. There's talent on this team for sure. I mean, there's a lot of talent over there. I was so glad when they fired Willie Green. I don't want nobody to lose their job or lose nothing like that, but I just feel like, man, Willie should have been out of there about 3 years ago. Like, he hasn't done nothing. They just haven't done nothing. And granted, there's been some injuries, Zion. I get that, but I just have been with the way the NBA has been firing and the way the owners have gone to the coaches when there's no production. Like, I was surprised he stayed that long with no production. So
Yeah.
I was definitely glad they made that move. I know that was a Joe Dumars move. Being new to the organization front office. Zion, they're gonna need Zion to be Zion. But I tell you right now, with Derek Queen and the way he's been balling, yeah, man, the way he's been balling. I was telling one of my partners, man, hey, it may be time to look to trade Zion just for the fact that you guys can probably still get some good value for him. I mean, there'll be teams calling for Zion real quick. A change of scenery for Zion may be good. Just change. And if you get some picks or get some players for Zion with that team they already have constructed, man, the Pelicans will still be in good shape. I mean, it's no tank or anything like that. It's every bit of fighting for a playoff spot this year / be ready for next year. They haven't, I don't think, really filled in that coach yet like that. I think they have somebody off the bench. So I don't know if they'll look out for a new coach. I really wish that they'll go get Mike Malone. I don't know why nobody wants to get Mike Malone.
I don't understand that either.
I don't get it, bro. So I'm confused over there. But New Orleans definitely has the talent with Fears, with Queen. You still got Herb Jones over there. Still got Trey Murphy over there. Like it's very underachieving team. So I really hope they get it together, man. But I do think, man, it starts with Zion. And if Zion's not healthy, man, I do this think it just puts that organization back a few steps, man. What you think?
Yeah, I think Zion being in and out of the lineup has definitely hurt them. I think it also has helped with like the emergence of Derek Queen. I seen him
True.
battling with Jokic the other night. I
Woo.
was man, like a young bull going at it.
Yeah.
But I think if you look at how the Pelicans have played lately, like they've been in actually they've been a part of some like Indiana type situations where they're losing by double digits.
Yeah.
Um and I know some of that you can attest to coaching, but I think Shannon Sharp, he says it a lot because he said his coaches used to say it, but the best ability is availability. And Zion being in and out of the lineup, it really hurts his team. So I do agree. Like at a certain point, like it's been long enough, you got to look to move him while you still can.
Why you still can, man? Why you still can? Agreed, man. Agreed. Best ability is availability. Hey, I know, Ray. That is it. That is it, man. We gonna get to number 26, Sacramento Kings. Oh man, what you think about Sacramento, man? What's going on?
I don't know what Sacramento was thinking when they brought in DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. Uh, like as a Chicago native, like you watched it not work in Chicago and brought those same two dudes over to play with Sabonis and you thought it was going to work. And proof is in the pudding. It has not worked. And
It
now
has not.
Sabonis is out for 2 to 4 weeks with an injury.
Yep. Totally agree, man. I agree totally with you. Didn't see it work in Chicago. So what's going on? What's going on over there? To bring him over there. And I like DeRozan. Don't get me wrong, man, but he's such a tweener. I don't know if he's a 2 or a 3 or just. And his game with the way they play today, man. Him not being a very good 3-point shooter or at least attempting it's just it's I don't know, man. It's just not translating well with his style of play these last couple years. Ever since they went to shooting him a lot more, shooting a lot more threes. I think he kind of slows down Levine and the teams he's been on lately because he does have to back it down, slow down, get in the post. And that's cool. I admit it get you paid. I love that. I'm old school. I get it. But with just the way that how fast the game is, Sacramento, they're not really utilizing the youth because, or even the Bulls. They never utilized the youth they had because DeRozan just slows it. He just has to slow it down.
Yeah,
And yeah,
he play an outdated style.
yeah, yeah. Yes, agreed, agreed, agreed. And I don't know, and I do think they need a. I mean, yes, bringing in Russ as a point guard. I mean, to add to DeRozan and Levine, I didn't like that either. I'm like, man, you're gonna bring him in there with those two as well. Like, really, at heart, all three of those guys are gunners. Like, I mean, you know what I mean. I mean, Russ, yes, he'll drop those assists, but at nature, when the ship seems like it goes down, Russ still has that mindset of like, hey, I'll hold it up, I'll get it done, and I don't think that translates that well right nowadays with his age and just the way it is right now. He's not that anymore. So I just feel like, man, I really don't like that he starts either. I wish Westbrook would come off the bench. They should have kept Schroeder. They should have kept Schroeder starting. But I get it. I get why you don't start or why you don't start Schroeder. But Schroeder's such a better shooter, and I just would have that in my start and have Russ bring that energy off the bench. But hey, I mean, Christie, he's the coach, but at the same time, man. Oh, I tell you what got me, man. What jammed my Glock the other night? Them dudes, the Kings lost to the Grizzlies without Jaren Jackson, without Ja Morant, and they lost by 40 to them boys, bro. And Westbrook, Levine, and DeRozan all three played, and I was just like, oh yeah, I'm firing Doug right then and there. It's that let me know about the season all right there, man. Just that game right there. That's
Yeah,
all I needed.
Santi Aldama
Come
almost had 30 in that game. I'm
Come
pretty
on,
sure.
man. That's what I was like. Whoa, what is going on over there? So yeah, it may be time to just like you mentioned. Not only Sabonis hurt, I may look to trade him while he's hurt. I may need to see what we can get for Sabonis over there. Keegan Murray, hey, package them two up, get him out of there, man. And it's time to revamp. I don't know if you're going to get too much for Levine and DeRozan at this point compared to like a Sabonis. So, man,
Sabonis is your most valuable asset. I'm looking
agreed.
at the box score from this game, and uh, Zach Levine had 26. The next highest King score was Maxime Reynaud, and he scored 12.
And what game was that?
This was against the Grizzlies.
You see what I'm saying, bro? That is, oh my gosh. Yeah, you see the. Now I know. Yep, I seen the box score too. Malik Monk, what, 2 points?
Yep, Malik Monk 2 points. DeMar DeRozan 7 points. Russ 11 points. Keegan Murray 11 points.
Come on, man. That ain't gonna get it. That definitely gonna get it done, man. That's unacceptable, honestly. So, hey, Doug, Sacramento, y'all gotta do better, man. And that's another team that may be look. If I were, I may be looking to get up out of there, Sacramento. It may be time to relocate as well, man. So there just needs to be a fresh start, something. And that sucks because Sacramento does have a rich history of NBA somewhat success, somewhat, historical type of vibe to it, man. And it just ain't been right, man, since Boogie. I mean, it just ain't been right since, man. So
It's so weird to see where Sacramento is today when just 2 years ago they were the
mm,
third seed in the
that's
Western Conference
that's right. Fox
and
had him
they
right.
had that thing going on talking about light the beam.
That's facts. That's facts. Since you mentioned that though, Marcus, it lets me know that they didn't want to pay that money. They're being cheap. I don't know if they're just already kind of going like, yeah, that lets me know right there they didn't want to pay that money. They didn't want to pay Sabonis and Fox that money. So that's what it's coming down to, man. That hard cap and that salary cap is probably, it's probably really affecting some of those mid-market teams like that. So that doesn't surprise me because you are so right. 2 years ago, man, third seed. I what Game 7 against the Warriors, maybe in the first
Yeah.
round or something. Man, that's crazy, man. Man. All right, man. We're gonna transition number 25, Dallas Mavericks, 4-12. As so far, we just bring the cat out the bag, man. It's been a bad season. Nico Harrison fired. I'll let you start off with that, man. What you think about what you think was going on in Dallas, man?
I think Nico Harrison probably had a personal issue with Luca. Uh, and they did say that, and he came out and said that it was his idea to trade Luca, I'm pretty sure. It's been some speculation on whether or not ownership signed off on the trade. But I think now, and it hasn't even been a full year since the trade, you've seen like, okay, if you didn't believe that this was a bad trade when he made the trade, you see it now because now not only is Anthony Davis not playing, uh, the only other two assets you got in the trade were Max Christie and a pick. And I'm pretty sure that pick you have was involved in something with OKC. I'll have to double check that.
Oh yeah, that's a
So
fact. If the Mavericks finish, you're right. Not to cut you off, I think the fourth worst record, that pick goes to OKC.
exactly. So now your only asset that you have playing is Max Christie, and Kyrie still isn't back.
He ain't coming.
Klay Thompson has fallen off the face of the earth as a shooter. Your entire team shoots under 30% from three, except maybe one guy. And I think the one guy is Max Christie. Yeah, because he shoots like 42% from three. Everybody else is shooting 28 and below.
That ain't gonna get it done. Man, you wanna know what I think, man, about the Mavericks, man? And this is just my opinion here, conspiracy. I think it's been in the works for a while with Palinka and Nico. I think that's where I think they have the personal relationship as far as like they're connected. It's all kind of Kobe-ish bringing them together. They already had a relationship prior to Kobe's passing, all that stuff. And I think from a Nico's perspective of being told from up top that not even told, but signing off on giving up Luca. And Nico gave good reasoning why we should give up Luca. Meaning, not maybe good reasoning to us, but good reasoning to his bosses, like, hey, why we should look at this. And I'll go deeper. See, Dallas wants to get that casino in that arena. They want to have a casino attached to it because that ownership group is already known for building casinos. Like that's what they do. They're not even basketball people. So when Dallas or Texas, I should say, when they were denied, I think it's yeah, because there's no casinos in Texas, but that bill was denied this year of getting that casino there. I think the Trump move or the chess play from Dallas is we're once they knew that they weren't gonna get the casino, okay, well, we're going to relocate because I think that's going to be the team that eventually does. Unless Texas gets the casinos legal, that's going to be the team that leaves. They're going to be the team that gets over to Vegas. That's going to be the team. I think that's their goal. I don't think that's what they really wanted to do, but Texas probably is not going to legalize that gambling, the casino there. So with that being said, if you rowdy up that fan base, which they did, now what's that's going to do? And before even the season started, they already said they were going to raise the ticket prices. They already said ticket prices are going to go up. Now we get to this season, and this season is a 4-12 type of season. Anthony Davis hurt, Kyrie's hurt. Nobody can shoot over there. I mean, Nico's fired. The fans were just their own teams at the free throw line, and you're saying fire Nico. Like there was already a disruption there. So I feel as though with the way this team is going. They're not going to get another pick. I know Cooper's there, but that's beside the point. This is the chess play of making the fans in Dallas upset, so that in these so between now and 2 years, because they got to wait 2 more years for that bill again for the casino. I think between now and these 2 years, man, it's just gonna be a tanking type of vibe over there, so that it looks so that the NBA can look as though, okay, we need to get Dallas up out of there. Because honestly, it's gonna hurt Dallas. It's hurting Dallas being this bad or just this energy, but it's a top four media market in the NBA. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a good market, and for it to be like it is right now, I know the NBA's not even loving that. I mean, you lost Luca, and that's one thing, but now the fact that they're not winning over there, like it would have been all right if Anthony Davis or in this trade kind of worked out, you know, a little bit. Because if this record was flip flop, we wouldn't be it wouldn't be no issue.
Oh no.
So no, not at all. So I do think this is a chess play, man, by the Mavericks organization. They don't want to be in Dallas due to the casino over there. So just something to keep an eye on. I could be wrong. I probably am wrong, but I just too much stuff has been out there about it, and it was just too. Come on now, you trading Luke back to the. I told you about Sacramento not wanting to pay with that salary cap and that apron. These teams are being cheap in a way. Like you're not gonna pay Luca that money. Oh well, I would have, but I'm saying you're very strategic now. Who you're giving that supermax to, and then if you're giving that supermax to, you got to see of well, dang, how can we get a team together if a lot of that money's in one player? Luca's up and down, injury, weight. You know, would Luca get down to skinny Luca if he was still in Dallas? I don't know. So that's man, it's very tricky, but I see what the owners are doing now. Though I do see what they're doing now, man. They're kind of taking that NFL approach. I feel like when it comes to the players. Players these last 10 years have had the upper hand when it comes to getting paid, man. The NBA's been a players' league, man. I mean, you could be sitting out, but if you got the right agent, if your agent is old buddy from Clutch Sports, hey,
Oh, Rich Paul.
Rich Paul, boy, you in there, man. They like man, it's something to keep an eye out though, man. And I kind of like what the owners are doing though now. Hey, you're gonna have to produce for us to pay, and that's ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Like nothing's wrong with that in my eyes. So Dallas, I see what you doing. You ain't slick, but Cooper, y'all shouldn't be doing Cooper like that. That's all y'all dirty for that. Y'all dirty for that, man. We gonna transfer to Charlotte, man. Uh, man, number 24 on the list. They 4-11. Uh, it's time to get rid of Lamelo. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's time to just revamp that team. Let Brandon Miller, Con Kneppel, let them kind of run the show over there. I would probably look to package Miles Bridges and Lamelo. Once I get rid of Lamelo, I'm not keeping nothing in there kind of that I've already had. From Lamelo's tenure over there. So that's the reason why I put Miles in there. I want to start fresh. I think they have a good fan base city type of vibe over there. It's just that there's no winning over there. I don't think they have a winning coach over there. Mike Malone would be somebody good over there that'd be firm and hard on a player of LaMelo stature. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that can really lay it down, firm coaching wise on them and pick up defensively because they got talent. They got some talent over there. I don't know what it is, man. Lamelo's more of a fan. He's just more of putting those, and that could be something too. Maybe these some of these organizations are about putting fans in the seats rather than about really winning. So that could be frustrating. But I would like to see Lamelo take his talent somewhere and put that talent to somewhere and showcase it. I'm not quite sure where. Maybe Houston. I mean, Houston does need a point guard and a facilitating point guard in me. So that'd be nasty, man. What you thinking?
Yeah, I think like you said, the Hornets. I don't think have ever really had a winning culture. And like Lamelo's first couple of years in the league, they were hanging around the play in and losing in that 9-10 matchup.
Yeah.
Um, I would like to see him on a team like say like Miami
Mm,
or to see him like uh even with the Clippers, because the Clippers
Yeah.
they need some good point guard play, and I know Melo would like to go back to Cali, be around Chino Hills, be around home, uh,
You
and
bring
like
James off the
actually have a
bench?
come off the bench.
James Harden. Or you put him to
No,
the two?
James Harden pushed to the two.
Push it to two? Okay.
But yeah, I would like to see Melo in a market like that where he has an opportunity to win. Because Charlotte, like you said, Charlotte does have talent. I think Charlotte just doesn't have culture, and they
Ooh,
don't
yeah.
have the right coach.
Agreed. Agreed. Oh man, here we go. Speaking of the Clippers, they next number 23 on the list, 4-11. Um, man, I mean, it didn't surprise me with Bradley Beal getting hurt. I don't know what's up with that dude, man. Like he can't stay healthy, and I feel like even while he's healthy, his days are behind. Um, he kind of went away from being a spot up 3-point shooter, like with the way that, like, I don't know, man. It's like his game kind of flip flopped to me. Like now he's kind of seems like he tries to get his shot more, ball create, get to the bucket, midi, rather than when he first came into the league, man, he was a spot up three. He was really just a off off the screen pull up Ray Allen kind of type of game. So he kind of got away from that, and I get why he did. He needed to showcase that he can do others. He's a one option at a point in time with Washington, so he did need to evolve his game. But I don't know if evolving his game kind of activated those injuries as well because he had to do more. I'm not sure what his offseason looks like. I mean, it does always look like he comes in shape, but man, I don't know. It kind of has that Anthony Davis effect to me, man. They what Charles call them street clothes, man. Like they just can't keep it. They just can't be healthy, man. And it just always be the smallest things, man. Like gosh, and when did you hurt your hip, man? Like I was just like, gosh, man. I don't know, man. You mentioned Lamelo, maybe like a look over there with the Clippers. I'm thinking of James. I even feel like with James and the way this record shows me running the PG. Um, Man, it may be time in his career to come off the bench, man. You came off the bench when you came in the league. Hey, nothing wrong. Like, what's going on, James? Like, just I think that would help their winning because when the guys that coming off the bench, which is kind of disappointing to me because their bench is probably a little bit more talented than that first string with who they bring off the bench. I don't know why CP3 is not getting the clock. I know they announced that this is his last year, but I don't know, man. Like, what you got him on the bench for? Not to coach up a young player or something. Like, you just got to mix with some older guys. So I don't know, man. Some of their the general manager type of putting the team together was a little questionable. I don't know what we're gonna do with Kawhi. I think that they need to really look hard in the mirror with the Kawhi situation. I think they may need to look to moving him too, man. And the only reason because you see what you can get for him. Otherwise, man, Kawhi's gonna do what he's doing right now, miss the last 10 games and come back tonight. Like he's kind of got that Zion effect right now for the team too. He's in and out the lineup. So it's just I don't know, man. That cohesion is always off to me. Ty Lue, I'm honestly and I'm a big fan of Ty Lue. He's from an area where I'm from, and I got major respect for him. But he may not have that locker room. He may not have these older guys. I don't know, man. It may be time for a coaching change as well. It's just not working over there, man. It's kind of disappointing. New arena. So I don't know, man. I think when the season does go, even without Brad Beal, and if they can keep a healthy Kawhi, they can fight for that eighth slot, maybe to play in, and get in there. Um, it is a team I don't want to play the first round if I'm, a one seed or two. It's a team I don't want to play first round for sure. Like if I'm Denver and I grab that one spot in the West, that's not I don't want to play them first. But then again, it's like you kind of do want to get that old team out the way now. Yeah, I don't know, man. It'll be exciting to see. But the Clippers, man, they may need to go young a little bit, get some youth over there. Oh, I seen the injury to Johnson. What's his name? The dunker. Derek Johnson. Is that
Derek Jones.
Derek Jones? There you go, Derek Jones, man. Did they ever say what happened? Was his ACL?
I'm not sure.
He was hurt, man. He was holding on to that knee, so that was a major blow for them. Over there, especially he was a starter, so that definitely hurts them over there. Yeah, man, the Clippers just James dropped 55 last night. I did see that against the Hornets though, so that was cool to see though. James, get back into that bag though. I don't think I've seen that in a while of a 55 from James, and maybe since Houston.
Houston.
Yeah, it may have been since Houston. So that was cool to see, man. What you got with the Clippers, man?
I think they need to blow it up. James has been doing his best to try to keep them afloat,
Yeah.
and it just hasn't been working. Like you said, I feel like Ty Lue lost the locker room a little bit. Chris Paul does not solve your point guard issues at this point in his career.
Nope.
He's not the same guy. Like I watched multiple possessions in which he's like the defense is hunting Chris Paul to force him into turnovers. Uh,
Man.
and it's just I don't feel that they have continuity or chemistry amongst the roster. I feel like Kawhi has showed you for 6 years now since you signed him that he will be in and out of the lineup. And
Yep.
at this point, Kawhi is in his mid 30s. I don't think you can continue to build this team about around a Kawhi in his mid 30s who's been in and out of the lineup since
Yep.
he was in his 20s. A almost 40-year-old Chris Paul and James Harden trying to turn back the hands of time and keep them alive by scoring a bunch. And that's how you get the record that they have.
Agreed.
So I think it's time for them to get what they can for Kawhi, get what they can for James Harden, and revamp the entire team.
No, I totally agree, and it's like let's not forget throw Zubiak in there too. I know he's a big, but he's not. You seen the way these bigs are going now, man. You're gonna have to be a three-way big in a way. Like you got to be able to dribble, shoot, and pass. Like that's just the way that Jokic type of big, a Sagoon type of big, and he's so limited. All he's gonna do is rebound and kind of back you down for that little hook or just get putbacks. Yeah, that's cool off the bench, but I do feel like as a starter in the minutes he plays, he's so limited with the way these other bigs get buckets now. He can't stretch the floor. It's man,
Yeah.
it's tough
And
over there, man.
him and Brooke Lopez, I feel like are two, they're opposite sides of the same coin. Brooke Lopez stretches the floor,
Yeah,
he plays inside, but laterally, both of them are bad on defense.
agreed.
Like they both get blown by. And when you have those are your starting and backup centers, especially in the West, where all these centers are talented, you're playing against Sabonis, Jokic,
Yep.
Sengun, um, and then you go out east and you play against a Giannis, you play against a Karl Anthony Towns, you play against a Wemby back out west. Like you can't get away with your big play being like that.
You can't.
It's just not gonna work.
It ain't gonna work. No, totally agree, man. Totally agree. Do better, Clippers, but not too much better. LA, we the kings of the LA now. All right, bro. Hey, 20. We got 20. Let me see what number we at, man. We at 25, 22. We got the Utah Jazz. Man, Utah, man. To me, honestly, they play hard. There's some talent over there. I was kind of shocked with Ace Bailey and his play so far as that rookie. He's not getting a lot of minutes, but not sure what Utah does with their young talent. I do think the way the league's going, they're mixing young and veterans. With the way just the games played today, so maybe that's part of that. And I actually kind of like that for a team like Utah to fight for that play-in team or that eighth spot in the West, because they've just. But then again, it's like if you're really only fighting for a play-in or an eighth seed, and you're not, in their case, I'm looking for a top pick this year. That draft is just too good this year to not get something good in that top, at least in that top 5 to 10 range. Laurie Marketing though has been playing All Star ready ball though. Um, he's been playing so good though. I may look to trade him and see what I could get. See what I could get over there. I'm not too sure who the. Oh, they got Castro, I think, as their big over there. I would like to see somebody more of a big over there. I'm not sure who, but I do think they in that West is so big down there, man. I think that they could use a big body down there. But Castro does, he does all right, but he's kind of in
I'm
that
pretty sure he's
lateral.
hurt.
Is he hurt?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's
Who's been?
out for the season.
Oh my gosh, who's been running the big?
Uh, yeah, Walker Kessler is out for the season. Nurkic, Yusuf Nurkic.
Man, I didn't. Yes, I did know they grabbed him. He's another lateral movement that they're gonna pick on. So that's like it's just I don't know, man. That doesn't do it for me with him. He never does it for me. By the way, he didn't do it for me in Phoenix. He just never does it for me. I don't know. I don't know what he. His game reminds me of his Valachunas. Like him and Valach. I'd rather take Valachunas than Nurkic. I don't know what it is with
Yeah.
Nurkic. Yeah, but he just doesn't do it for me, man. But Utah though, man, it's hard to beat them at home. So I know when they're at home, man, it's tough to beat them. I knew they weren't going to give the Lakers no run that other night in LA. They just they don't that yeah they not like that on the road. Keontae George, he has a lot of upside over there, but he just I don't know, man. I don't think coach lets him gets off like really lets him go off, but that's okay too because he can kind of be OC a lot of the times. But I mean, they do have an identity as far as let Laurie Markkinen. He's the number one guy over there, do his thing over there. But man, I do think they have good coaching. I think they have a good coach. I just think their team is just not well put together. If they can get a couple pieces put together over there, I think that would help. But the only problem about that is, and they'll always face this, as long as they're in Utah, they're gonna have trouble getting free agents over there. They'll always have
Yeah.
to go through the draft and trades. So yeah, that puts them in a pickle, man. What you think?
Yeah. Utah is a team where I feel like if you don't pay attention, they're gonna pop you in the mouth.
Oh yeah,
Uh I do think just because of that market though, it's harder to build a team and it's harder to get somebody to want to come to Utah.
yeah.
Uh so they're gonna have to try to build through the draft, and that makes team success for them much harder.
Agreed, man. Agreed. Totally agree. And by the way, I'm not sure if they got D Wade in that office, and I think that will help eventually. But D Wade's got some work to do, man, to convince, like you said, for players to come to Utah. They're gonna have to at least put on a winning culture. To even have a chance to come out there. I mean, we seen how Ace Bailey can lie all he wants, but Ace Bailey didn't want to go to Utah, so that could tell you right there, man. All right, man. We're going to shift on to number 21. We got Memphis Grizzlies. We mentioned a little bit, just a little bit about them. But, man, Memphis is just, to me, I think that's one of those teams, too, that I think needs to blow it up. I think it's time to get Ja out of there and see what you can do. Go ahead. You've already paid Jaren Jackson. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Jaren Jackson may be getting paid more than Ja at this point. That could also be a little reason why Ja acts the way he acts. He didn't get his extension. I would look to let Jaren Jackson, Zach Edey, Sante Adama, time to just maybe Spencer, the young guard over there.
Pat Spencer.
Yeah, Spencer be going crazy. Yeah, I like his game over there. GG, let him go. Just let them young bucks go over there with that new coach over there. I do think there's disconnect over there with the coaching and Ja. Ja just comes off as though he is ready to move on. I think some of his tactics kind of implement that in a way. We seen that even just the way he was playing against that one game against the Lakers. Yeah, he's played okay since, but at the same time, he's like what you say with Shane, and the best ability is availability, and I don't know, he's a little shaky on that too. I don't know. And then I thought about it. Well, how does he stay not injured? Well, Ja, to me, man, his game is predicated on athleticism and getting up, in the air and that type of game. He does have potential to be a feet to the ground player. I think he has very good court vision. He has that passing point guard ability, but he's gonna be if it's just that's it. They're going to stop you. Players are just as fast as you or athletic as you on the defensive side. So just getting to the bucket ain't going to be as easy as you think. So then, so now we're making you a shooter. Ja's not shooting that ball like that. Like, he's not a great shooter. So he's kind of limited, man. And when it comes to that, it's kind of like players like him have to translate to like a Halliburton type of game. But the thing that saves Halliburton is Halliburton can actually, shoot the ball. So that makes him a little, different of a threat, in my opinion. But yeah, man, I do think it's time to blow up Memphis. I think it's time to get Ja Morant a fresh start. I don't think you're paying Ja. You're not going to pay Ja and Jaren Jackson super max money for, I don't know, maybe an eighth seed in the West. And at this point, not even, they're a play-in team. So, yeah, man. Zach Edey, let me see, is he back? I think he is back now. He had 16 points the other night. Yeah, it's time. It's time to get him some playing time too. He's not going to reach his full, unless he gets some reps. Um, his lateral movement though is going to be shaky as his career goes on too, unless he works on that. I don't know if he's going to have to drop weight or, I don't know, man. He kind of got that Rudy go. Nah, he's not even Rudy. I can't even give him that. So I don't know, man. The Memphis, it's time to regroup over there. There's definitely disconnect from ownership, coaching, all the way down to Ja. Uh, I told my boy this ever since Dylan Brooks left, and I don't like Dylan Brooks. He's one of them players I want on my team, but I don't want to play against. But ever since he left, though, man, Memphis, that identity left.
Yeah, that culture that Memphis had a couple years ago has completely evaporated.
Yeah,
And it's crazy because the culture that they had a couple years ago propelled Memphis to the second seed. They were
yep,
playing a seven seed Lakers in the first round,
yep.
and it's been downhill ever since.
Been downhill ever since, man. Ever since. And man, and I go off of that firing Jenkins. I don't know why they did that. Like ever since they fired him too, it just hasn't been. Jenkins was one of those coaches like Rick Carlisle to me. Whoever he had out there, they played hard, man. During that 22-23 season when John them was, or yeah, when they was the number 2 seed, some of those games, man, to get to that number 2 seed, some of those games John wasn't even playing. Man, hey, you still had to come ready to play Memphis. Like they just, I don't know, man. They found a way to get it done. I liked what they had with Jenkins, Brooks, that year, those 2 or 3 years. I don't know what went wrong. Sometimes you, as ownership, I do feel like they've got to look, in the mirror and say, sometimes paying an extra. What did they do? The same thing with James Harden in OKC. That dude left for $4 million difference. Sometimes you're gonna have to, as an owner, say, is this to keep this core and this culture intact? Is this really costing me a lot? And I'm not, in their eyes, it's just like, man, spend that little extra bread to keep that together. Because at that point in time, Ja's still a younger man. He's learning his ropes. You needed those veterans to stay around Ja. I felt like, and that ever since the veterans, so to speak, left, it just has not been the same over there, man. So Memphis, I don't know if it's NLE Chopper, but y'all need to get it together. All right, man. We're gonna get it. Number 20. We got Portland Trailblazers, 6-9. Man, they are shocked to me. I'm not gonna lie to you. They're ninth right now in the Western Conference, though. They play hard. They've beat the Warriors twice this season. Man, they've just been playing hard, even with Chauncey Billups' situation. I thought when that happened, I thought that would kind of really put the season in jeopardy for him. Man, forgive me for saying his name, but Deny Adiji, uh,
Denny Advia.
Denny Hadvia. Man, that boy's a baller. I watched him play against the Warriors the other night. Man, he gets down, man. Shaden Sharp definitely needs to get in the dunk contest. I don't know what's going on, but that boy's got bunnies. They got Jeremy Grant over there, man. Like they got wings, they got guard play. I think Drew Holiday's been out a little bit. I think the addition of Drew has helped just their play. That veteran over there, so he's a winner. I think he brings it every day in practice when he's healthy. Like those little things translate to the court. I think they got a good mix of veteran and older and younger guys over there. I think this year, man, they will be fighting for a play-in team with Chauncey, without Chauncey. I do think they need Drew over there. But man, I'm just actually surprised. I'm surprised with them right now. I'm not gonna lie, man. Like they've been playing actually pretty good basketball. Think they maybe need another tweak over there. Maybe I think they need more shooting.
Yeah.
I think that would help them. Man, what you think?
I think Portland is another one of them teams where they could easily like if you don't pay attention, I think it's more serious with them. But they'll pop you right in the mouth because
Yeah,
Portland is the only team to beat OKC this year. Uh, so if they add some more shooting, which is something I'll be keeping an eye on, especially as the trade deadline approaches, if
right.
they can add some more shooting, Portland could really make a push, and they might be able to get out of the play-in race.
You know what? I could see that. And let me ask you then. So if you're Portland, who do you try to shooting wise? Who's a player you would look to go grab? Put you in the GM chair.
I'm trying to think who'd be available.
All that.
Uh, we got to look at some of the bad teams, see who they'd be willing to part with.
Even hey, and now I don't like. I mean, Malik Beasley before he got in trouble, like somebody of that caliber, somebody like that, that'd be a good addition to Portland. Somebody that can not only shoot, but he could put that ball on the ground a little bit. But he's a good spot up shooter. I hope he does get back in the league. But then again, I don't want nobody in there cheating and doing all that gambling in NBA. You know what I'm saying? Purposeful. But man, somebody like that would definitely, I feel like, help Portland for sure. You see what he did with Detroit. I mean, how just his play came in there.
Honestly, because he's still such a good shooter and
Hmm.
you like what you have going on and the position of where this team is, I would call the Kings about Zach Levine.
Ooh. Mm. Hey, would you call Dallas for Clay?
No.
Clay done, huh? Just
Yep. No.
dang, man, that's crazy. No, I hear you, man. I hear you. And man, I'm just gonna throw it out here. It don't make it no better when he's with Megan Thee Stallion. I'm gonna throw it out there. It just don't make it no better that like it just don't, man. It gives everybody more ammunition just to pick on him, man. Because everybody say the same. Man, people that don't even watch basketball say the same thing. All because of Megan Hunter, like dude can't make a shot, man. They were saying that before the season started, man. So that's
It
just
ain't because of Megan.
oh, I
I
know
sure
it
did
ain't, but
watch.
it's just funny to me. It's just funny though, man. Man, hey, but that's a player like Zach. No, no, no. I would do that. Zach is he could shoot the ball, and then it's almost like I don't I don't need Zach Levine to be Zach Levine as far as like. Actually, I probably would need him to do that because I'm thinking about from a guard perspective, they don't have that kind of like that creator over there. I think they usually start Drew and oh no, they got Shaden
See,
Sharp.
but on a team like that, Zach doesn't have to initiate the offense like he
True.
would have to
Normally.
uh on like the Bulls after Lonzo got hurt or the Kings. You could just let Zach be a scorer,
Yeah.
and then you still have Drew Holiday to be your 3 and D guard. Zach
Hmm.
obviously he's not the best defender, but he's no pushover. And
No,
then you
no.
still have a Shaden Sharp, you still have a Denny Advia, you still have Jeremy Grant and Donovan Clingan. Like you that would be a great team.
No, I like that. I do like that. I do like question is what do you and I know Portland has some things to give up too where it wouldn't hurt their core. Uh Probably look to give up Scoot. I mean there's another
Yes, I would. Yes, yes, I would give the Sacramento what that way. not only does he have an opportunity to step out from under everybody,
Yeah,
he's going to a team where he can assert himself as the number one.
that's
I
true.
would even package like a first, maybe a first swap or a second round pick, or
Yeah,
maybe 2 seconds to get Zach.
yeah. Oh, I would do that in a quick. I'd do that in a heartbeat. Oh no, 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 for sure, for sure, for sure. All right, man. Now we gonna go ahead and get over to 19. We got Milwaukee Bucks. They're 8-8 right now. I think that record. There's a couple games. I think this record could be every bit of 10 and 10-6. There's a couple games I've seen, where they were able to win with Giannis. They've lost a couple bunnies without Giannis. But for this record, and just I'm surprised. I'm actually kind of more proud of the Bucks. I'm actually proud of Doc Rivers. I feel like this is one of his better coaching, adjustment, X's and O's type of season he's had. Um, I felt starting the season off with just what they had going on. I don't think nobody seen Ryan Rollins emerging in what he's emerging to. He's been balling. Yeah, boy, he been balling. So, just giving him that confidence. Doc seeing that, hey, we gotta start with this guy rather than Gary Trent Jr. I thought that was a good move to kind of swap that out. Miles Turner's been okay with him. I think he's still getting acclimated a little bit more. I think probably once playoffs come around, he'll have his feet wet a little bit more. Of course, playing with Giannis is a different animal. I feel like probably as a big, even though Miles stretches the floor, I don't think Miles just goes into the game looking to shoot threes. So, and I say to say like you gotta kind of once time playing with Giannis, you're gonna pick and choose like when Giannis is going to the bucket, when I need to step out, when Giannis is feeling maybe his little turnaround mini, like things like that. Just familiarity with Giannis. I think as more reps go on, he'll figure that out. But I actually been liking what I'm seeing from the Bucks. I think they're locking up on defense. I'm looking at their schedule. Their next 4 games, they got Detroit, Portland, Miami, New York.
Eesh.
Yeah, I know, man. Them are tough. And Giannis's health has been a little. I don't know if he's having some knee problem. I don't know really his issue. Um, I don't know. Sometimes within the league, man. Sometimes these organizations are saying injuries that you can't even show, but it's part of their load rest management. So you never know if they're really hurt or if it's just a break, to give your player a break throughout the season. But I hope Giannis healthy with this Bucks team because I don't think they can really make any more trades or anything like that that's really going to move them over the needle. So I think they'll be riding with this squad all the way through, unless there's like a crazy injury or something. But man, I'm just surprised. I'm actually surprised with this, just the way they've been playing. If they keep it up, they'll definitely be, and they should want to avoid the play in. But if they can avoid that play in, they're a team that can pop you in the mouth for sure. They got the veteran coaching. They got Giannis over there. They have shooting over there. That's one thing that they do have is some shooters over there. So I just feel like Milwaukee's right there in that. They're right there in the mix still. You can't like myself. I forgot about them in the beginning of the season. I think they've shown the NBA, in the East right now, like, hey, don't sleep on us. So, what you got, man, from Milwaukee?
I think Milwaukee is one of those teams where I'm looking at them now. Will there probably be middle of the pack? I
Yeah.
see Milwaukee probably be somewhere around like the sixth or seventh seed.
Mm,
And that's with Giannis. I feel like the
yeah.
Bucks depend on Giannis. Like it has been nice to see Ryan Rollins emerge a bit. Um, and I feel like Doc Rivers has been a lot more sound as far as like putting his players in the right positions to succeed. But I think with the roster as it's currently constructed, there's clear cut limitations, especially after seeing how like the East looks this year with teams like Detroit, Miami, Toronto, New York, like seeing how all them boys is playing, like this roster got some limitations to it.
That's a fact. No, that's a fact. That is a fact, man. That is a fact. All right, man. We're gonna get over to Boston Celtics, 8-7, number 18 on the list. Jalen Brown, man. He's been wiping the wrong floor. He's been wiping that hair on them players, man, instead of well, so yeah, Jay. I don't know. You know what got me though is this though, Marcus. I listen. I've done hit the fibers a lot in my time, but I tell you this: once you catch me one time like Jalen, you would think that they'd be like, all right. I ain't gonna wear that no more. That dude been still, he still rocked it a couple more times after that, man. So that that had me that made me chuckle a little bit, man. But back to the basketball tip. I actually think they've been all right. They're a little over 500. I do think I do think Jalen Brown, from a leader perspective, to me, has actually done a pretty good job. I was skeptical of his leadership and just the way he would go about it, but I do feel like as far as keeping that team that he's had, and so far right now, I think that they've been okay. I do think Derek White, to me, has kind of that's the player to me that hasn't really stepped into what he's capable of, especially when, I mean, he's getting paid pretty good money, and I just don't. He's not playing like he didn't move from the third option to the two option. When there's Tatum and Brown, he's kind of been just in and out. I don't know. I don't know. So I feel like if he was able to stay consistent, I think this record would be a lot better. There's been a couple games with the Celtics that's been close that they lost, but I don't think they'll make any moves this season. I think this team is what you get. There's so much money wrapped up into Jalen and Tatum. There's really not much they can do or any value they can get unless you did look to move a player like Derek White. Um, and I'm not saying this is too off, but maybe could you trade Derek White for a big? I think Boston needs a big, especially with losing Porzingis and Al. So they like that inside over there, man. They'll be right there in that middle of the pack. I feel like with like Milwaukee, I think they will be right there. Um, and I'm gonna give Brown another, point. He's being a pretty good facilitator too, and that goes to his leadership. He's trusting his teammates. I never really see his attitude like he's being a pretty good leader. I'm just not shocked, but some of his ways he goes about his tactics, maybe his off the court demeanor, his morals, beliefs kind of come off like um, he's not always on the same page as like the Boston Celtics, but I've actually seen like no, like he's professional. He keeps it the main thing, and that transfers to his teammates. If they see that he's coming and he's working hard and he's professional. He's not pouting. He's not upset. He doesn't seem like he's down in them if his players aren't playing to that potential or their level of that they're capable of playing at. So. That's the reason to me why I think they're 9-8 right now is because of his leadership. While Tatum, and honestly, even when Tatum comes back, this will only help because Tatum's not necessarily maybe the vocal leader.
Yeah.
He's a leader by play, and so then that'll kind of put Jalen Brown in his role of maybe being the more of a vocal first, and I don't know, just it will help the balance and the dynamic of the team once Tatum gets back. What you got going, man? What you think?
I do think the Celtics have done way more than what I thought they would with what they have.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I'm pretty sure I read that the Celtics they now rank top 10 in their net rating, and Derek
Mm,
White and Peyton Pritchard have finally started to come alive and knock down some threes. Because for a good part of like this first part of the season, like Jalen Brown has been carrying both the scoring load and the facilitating load, and he's been doing his best to keep the Celtics treading water, which is where they are right now. I'm
right.
pretty sure they're sitting in like the what eighth spot in the the East, or the eighth, or it might be 10th. Yeah, 10th spot. My fault. So they floating around that 7 through 10 area, which is way better than where I thought they would be,
Me too.
honestly.
No, me too. No, I definitely thought they would be out of that. Definitely out of the top eight for sure, man. So no, and I see that too. That 7-10 range, I definitely see that for sure, man. So Celtics doesn't look like y'all be getting banner number 19 this year. All right, man. Looks like we got number 17. We got the Suns. Suns is a surprising team this year for me. They're 9-6 right now. Um, Booker, Booker's putting up 27, 6 in the last through 15 games. He is putting up 27 and 6. Man, it's a quiet 27 for me with Book, but with him playing like that, especially, I think he's been doing a lot more of the point guard play. Um, I don't really know how I feel about that. I guess the only bright side about Book kind of playing that one is it's kind of like a Shea type of game in a way. Like the way Shea plays Book he can kind of do the same thing. If not, probably a little. I ain't gonna say a little better, but similar. So I do like the fact that they have him at the one. It's just with Book to me, the games I've watched him play though, he 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 does a lot of tough shots that just kind of aren't called for or can kind of just again like give the defense an opportunity for the rebound and go. But I'm surprised with their record. I'm surprised. I think that coaching chain. I really didn't know too much about that coach, but it does seem like he's got them playing hard, especially on the defensive side. When Dylan Brooks is playing, and they got even the 2 games or so with Jalen Green, like we had a little sniff of how they can be. Once they're all healthy, I think that they are definitely a play-in team. They'll be fighting for that eighth spot, I think, as the season goes on. I'll tell you a player that's their X factor to me, and that's old buddy. Uh, who's the guy, man, from Duke? Drawing
Oh,
blank.
Grayson Allen.
Grayson Allen's the X factor to me. He balls when he's on, he's on. Like he just gives them another option as far as shooting and as far as defending if he need be. I like his game. I like him as a third option over there. I like Dylan Brooks' addition. Everywhere Dylan goes, man, he brings a different culture. Again, I don't like him playing against, but if he's on your team, I know you're happy with that. And they're bigs. I think like Nick Richards, man, and the other guy from Charlotte. Uh, um, can't think of his name, but man, both of those guys have been holding
Oh,
the
Mark Williams.
Mark Williams. They've been holding it down, man, down there in the paint. And Nunn, I like his game. Um, they got some young talent over there. Oh, Royce O'Neal. I finally feel like the last couple of years he's been MIA, but I feel like he's been adapting better in his role this year. Being a 3-and-D guy over there. So Phoenix will be kind of that play-in team, but I didn't think they'd be 9-6 right now. I do like Booker's leadership. He's kind of has that Jalen Brown type of demeanor to me right now. Like they're not with the lack maybe thereof of talent that you're normally playing with throughout these last couple of seasons. You usually have one or two different type of leaders, especially when it comes to basketball, man. Those pouts or those when you do stuff like that sometimes, man,
Yeah.
like that definitely rubs that can really destroy the season, man. That can just disrupt everything. And with Book, I've been proud of his leadership in that, man, and that shows you're gonna need a team to win these games. You're gonna need those players to go hustle and get those loose balls and fight for you. So shout out to you, D Book, for being a leader, man. What you think with Phoenix, man?
I feel like Phoenix has been a early season surprise. Phoenix was another team that I expected to just not be in the picture at all. Um, but they've actually been playing some really good team ball. I do think Book's shots seem a lot more contested lately, which is weird to me. because his shots used to be a lot more open. So I don't know if that's
Yeah,
like the defense is catching up with him thing.
right.
Um, but they've been playing some really good ball. They did let one get away from them against the Hawks. They blew a 22
Yeah, I
point
seen that.
lead,
Yeah.
but then they rebound by beating Portland. Um, and they do have a really tough stretch coming up. Uh, but they've built themselves some cushion heading like between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Who's those next games? You got that pulled up?
Yeah, one sec. Where is it? They play the Spurs today. They play the Rockets tomorrow.
Mm.
Um, and then they
Okay.
follow that up with Kings, Thunder, Nuggets, Lakers, Rockets, Timberwolves, Warriors, Lakers again.
It's finna get ugly.
Yeah, yeah,
Dang, it's finna get, and if that's the schedule, Jalen Green, where are you at? They need you, buddy. Like, get that hammy together and get on, man. Like, goodness gracious, man, that it could get ugly in those next games, bro. The playoff, it could
yeah.
get
They
ugly
they could come out of that stretch below 500.
easy, man. All right, Phoenix, it's your time. Man, we're gonna get on to number 16. We got the Atlanta Hawks. Man, the Hawks has been a surprise to me without Trey Young right now. They got Trey Young got injured a couple weeks ago. I think they had him out for a month. His injury did look to me when I seen it. I immediately thought ACL. So I'm glad that it wasn't nothing of that severe for Trey. Um, I think this helps the Hawks though, him being out. I do think that them being 8-4 without Trey Young, that was the surprise with me. With Nickel Alexander Walker, he's been averaging 19-3. That's helped. Jalen Johnson's been averaging 22-6. Dyson Daniels, he's putting up 6 assists, 3 steals a game. So you already know what he's bringing as far as that defensive intensity over there. But man, I've been. But then when I say surprised, I have to remember who their coach is. Quinn Snyder's a good coach. I mean, Quinn Snyder's he's had all his NBA teams play fairly well. I mean, if you even go to, if I'm not mistaken, he had the Jazz before he got to
Yeah.
the Hawks. So that lets you know right there. Man, at first I was thinking about getting Trey up out of there. I still think they will. By them, playing like this, I think this, if not by the trade deadline this summer, they'll probably look to move him. I know they didn't extend him, so that lets me know right there. So it will be exciting to see with Trey, what they do with him. And then it's almost a little scary to see, like, dang, like if you do move him and what you get back with this team they already have is just like, whoa, man, like Atlanta really can be in the next couple of years if they get some good, assets for Trey, man, they can be pretty good in that East. But I'm just trying to think like where Trey would go, where he needs to go next, like that could elevate him. Um,
Mhm.
I don't really know that. I don't know yet though. I don't know where he would a contender. I don't know. One contender that I always wanted Trey to go where I wanted to swap was Jamal Murray and him. I feel like him with Jokic is just a little different. But I do the other night when I watched Jamal, I was just like, oh, Jamal's different when he's on though. Like he just brings a different he brings a different game style, man, than Trey. But yeah, man, what you think with the Hawks right now, man? What's got you?
The Hawks defense has got me. The
Yeah.
Hawks are top five in defense right now,
Ooh,
and
we.
their offense leads the league in assists. They're really sharing, they put an emphasis on sharing the ball
Yeah.
ever since Trey has come out of the lineup.
Mm.
And it has a record at what, 10-7? Yeah.
Yep.
And the Hawks are currently the sixth seed in the East. Um, so I think they've been playing a great blend of team basketball
Mm-hmm.
coupled with that defense. And that man, Jalen Johnson, has taken a step forward in
Yes,
Trey's absence.
yes,
That I know they were kind of looking for him to take, and I know it's been like a godsend.
yep.
Like, yeah, they lost to Detroit on Tuesday, but there's no shame in losing to Detroit. Detroit
No,
is
not at
the
all.
number one team in the East right now.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. And I think Cade played in that game too. So it's like, hey, you know, you can't. And man, what was this? No, you right though, man. No, no, no. It doesn't it make you. So where does it go from when Trey gets there and they lose two in a row? You know what I'm saying, or three in a row? Like where does it go after that? Because like we mentioned, like sharing the ball. I'm not saying Trey's doesn't lead the league in assists, so I know he can move that ball, but it's just like the way he gets it is just I don't know. It could be a little stalling if that makes sense.
Yeah, I definitely get that. I think uh it's one of those things where it's the situation that people thought Bron was walking into.
Facts.
Well, like great chemistry. Oh, but he's this ball dominant guy.
Yeah.
How is he's gonna mess the chemistry up? And I think it's on Quinn Snyder as a coach. Like, how do you utilize the best of Trey Young
Yep.
without having to put the entire offense on him? Because, like I said, right now your team is currently leading the league in assists. How do we continue that with Trey Young?
You got to play them. You got to bring them like they do Steph sometimes. Bring him off ball and off them screens, and see if he can, get some shots that way. Which I know he could, but I think his height will play a part in something like that too, where it's just harder to get them shots up off those screens, bigs flying at you in a way while you're. But that's what I would do though. You're right. Like stop putting that facilitating on the load on him when he gets back. Find other ways to make him effective, and he's like one of the greatest or one of the better shooters in the league. So let's get him some shots open, So you right, man. We gonna transfer to 15, man. We halfway there. Chicago Bulls, number 15. Chicago started out good. I mean, I believe they started out 5-0, 6-0, something around
Yep.
that range. They've kind of dropped off since for sure. There's been some nail biters, but at the same time, man, I think once Giddy got hurt or he got that ankle broke, it just there was something just went down, man, when that happened. And I mean, hey, things like that do happen, but I just think they were such on a roll. That kind of pushed them back a little bit. But man, so for the most part, Chicago's still a surprising team this year. I think just the other night, Vucevic hit a game winner.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So that was big. Kobe White's back. We know what Josh Giddey's giving you that 29-7. That's almost a trip dub. So man, I mean, they're not a title contender or nothing like that. But dang, prior to that win the other night, they dropped five straight. So I mean, that can be definitely alarming. But I think if they continue and remember like that first 5, 6 games of the season, what got them those wins? It wasn't just luck. It was honestly defense and sharing that ball. So if they get back to that, stay healthy. Um, they're definitely a team that you know what I'm saying. Can they win you a series? Depends on who they play, but they're not the Bulls of last year. I do think they moved Kobe White this year. I think with their team and maybe the success so far to get to that playoff, to get out of the play-in, no, 7 through 10 range. I think that they'll look to make a move. I don't know. I don't know who they go after. Do you package Kobe White and Vucevic for somebody? Rumor was they looking at AD maybe. I don't know.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, yeah. You said nah, nah, nah. He said no. So fellow Chicago, and tell me what the Bulls need. What's going on?
I think the Bulls, you need a young wing. I think the Bulls have such a young culture outside of Vucevic. Like it's a bunch of young guys who are just having fun together. Uh, like I think you said his name, Matas, Josh Giddey, Kobe White,
Oh yeah,
Patrick Williams, like all those guys. Ao Desumu, I think that's how you say his name. Like all those guys, like enjoy playing together.
right.
Um, I don't think you interrupt that by bringing in an older guy like AD. And one thing Chicago does well is, especially when Josh Giddey's on the court, is they pass the ball. Everybody gets the ball. It doesn't stick with one guy. Where if
Hmm.
you bring in a big like AD, not only is he going to be available half the time when he is there, that becomes a black hole for your offense, because when he gets it, now everybody else, like all eyes are on him, which could be a good thing, but at the same time, like that continuity that you have now with everybody getting involved, like it starts to decrease because you got to enter the ball into the post and let AD work out of the post.
Agreed. Slows it down. I agree with that. Totally agree with that though. Totally agree, man. Shout out to Chi Town, man. All right, I'll be actually up in Chicago checking that Warriors game out December 7th.
Oh yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, speaking of the Warriors, we got them next, number 14. They nine and they're probably 9-9 now, I do believe. I think since they lost last night, I think it's the Blazers. But um, yeah, man, I kind of really where they're at right now. I kind of that's where I had them. Beginning of the season, I would say they've let a couple slip by them though. But beginning of the season, man, Kaminga. I don't know if Kaminga's dealing with an injury right now or not, but I do feel like, man, Kaminga, and I thought they were moving on. I thought that just they were on the up and up, but as of late, I don't know if again once he got out of the starting lineup or once he plays bad a couple games, man, Curry just gives up. It comes off like that. And then you had Curry was sick a few of those games. Jimmy Butler's up and down. Um, with this age and just the way they've played, there does need to be a change to give Steph Curry any opportunity to get one more before he's up out of there in the next 2 to 3. Um, I don't know who you. Well, of course, yeah, you're gonna have to get rid of Kaminga. I think they gave him the type of deal they gave him this summer. I think they already have it in place for him to get moved. Part of my idea of what they're doing is they gave you a little showcase in the beginning of the season, putting him in the starting lineup, letting him do him. I think I mean, we were seeing what he was doing, so it upped his value in a way. So here,
Mhm.
I do see them, pushing him up out of there pretty soon. Um, and a player that they've been mentioning that I do think would help is Laurie Marketing. If they could go grab him in that offensive scheme, oh man, that'll definitely help them as well as putting him at the 5 for them. That would definitely help. So and health. Jimmy and Steph are gonna have to stay healthy. I don't know, man, what's going on over there. When it comes to those two, Steph hasn't missed these. I don't know, man. Just from last year's playoffs to really now, there's been something off over there. And age, hey, man, maybe age. It just may be miles on the body. All those do play a part, but I don't know, man. There is just a different hunger identity crisis over in Golden State right now. Ever since that last championship, 2022, it just hasn't. No, man, it just hasn't been the same, honestly. Um, it'd be exciting to see where they finish off though in the season. I think by deadline there will be a move made. Um, I don't think that they just have enough. I think they need to play Moody a lot more. And that could be a change too with Kaminga. I think when Moody got in there, that's when minutes just lost for him. Moody can shoot the ball better. I think that's about pretty much what he can do better than Kaminga. Kaminga can rebound better. He can, guard better. But with the way the Warriors operate, they're going to take that shooting. Al Horford's helped, but he's showing his age too. He's in and out the lineup or hurt. Um, I mean, not Brad, Buddy Hield. He's up and down. He's too inconsistent. He really wants to shoot threes so much. When he gets a wide open layup, I've noticed he can't even hit those. So it's just I don't know, man. It just be Draymond is Draymond. He's probably the reason also though, man. Like he's probably part of the reason, most of the reason why they lack sometimes that offensive firepower because he's so limited in what he can do, especially if he starts. So that does hurt them, man. Like 6 points or 8 9 points from him. That ain't in today's NBA, bro. That ain't doing it. So I don't know, man. What you got with the Warriors, man? Net rating 0.6. Oh my gosh.
I think the brand of basketball they playing is literally just save us.
Yes.
And like they had like back-to-back wins over San Antonio in which Curry had 95 points collectively.
Mm-hmm.
Uh and but then you see in the Orlando game, he has a hot start and then he gets cold and nobody's there to pick up the slack.
Facts.
And like Steph is the Warriors' only consistent like sign of life, and
Yep.
he's 37.
Yep.
And I know we had kind of mentioned this before the season started, but that was my thing with the Warriors. They're all old.
Yep.
Like their most important pieces are the oldest pieces on the roster, and you can't like rely on that often. Like you need some quality young guys who can get in there and take the reins from them. That's why you look at a team like the Lakers. I would be very disappointed in the Lakers if a 40, almost 41-year-old LeBron James was still the best player.
Agreed. No, totally agree. And then not only would we be disappointed, it would show. I mean, like, come on now, common sense. It would show. There's only so much that 41 can do. There's only so much Steph can do. Like, no, I feel you on that, man. Totally. And now you see that, and that's kind of what I feel like KD's logic is a lot of the times when he's picking his teams. Like, he wants to go where there's some young bucks. Hey, I'll put myself in position to help y'all, but I'm not here to. I'll save y'all in the fourth. I ain't got time for the one through second quarter and the third quarter. Yeah, so you right about that though, man. And that's why I feel like they brought Jimmy in, but I don't know, man. I will say Jimmy's an upgrade from Wiggins, but it's just I don't
He's
know, man.
older, man.
He's older and he can't stay healthy. I agree. No, no, no. I agree with you, man. Agreed. Agreed. All right, man. Number 13, we got the Miami Heat. I mean, you know what, man? That it really don't surprise me. I think their record speaks to their coaching. Eric is just a heck of a coach. I think his players, they're one of the few teams in the league that, because of coaching, know how to play through adversity and just know how to play with what they have out there. Tyler Hero still hasn't played a game. So I mean, that's pretty good start so far. Bam, he missed some games early on, but you had those players, kind of step in during that time. Davion Mitchell, Pale Larson, Norman Powell, Andrew Wiggins, Kalel Ware, who's been holding the paint down for them. During that stretch that Bam was out, they went 4-2 with wins over the Cavs and the Knicks. So man, like that's some Miami stuff right there, man. It's not really surprising to me. I think when they show this type of play, it's kind of a hit or miss. Like if they show this type of play, do they do they make any moves to get better, or do they say, "Hey, we have enough like this"? Because they're a team that can bring in free agents. They don't have to play through the draft or through the trades, or do they say, "Hey, man, let's go ahead and see who could we ship out of here to get something?" But at the same time, if I'm Miami, I really don't. I really hold my team intact, and I wait for free agency in the next year or two and see what you can get. I don't think they'll be winning anything, but I do think that they'll definitely be a playoff team. I like that the way Norman Powell's been playing too, man. Especially without Tyler, he's definitely held it down. I know when Tyler gets back, it'll definitely boost their shot making and those threes up a lot more. But with Norman and Tyler Hero, I like what I'm seeing. If I had to make one move though, as far as that I think could help them is probably that point guard. If they could get something there, more of a possibly a facilitating guard rather than a scoring guard, that'd be nice. I don't know, man. I honestly would look at Ja. I think Ja would fit perfect over there because of that coach. Pat, there's some order over there,
Yeah.
and that could really get Ja back to Ja, behavior. So Miami, man, don't surprise me, man. And shout out to Miami, man, for just still, man, being relevant in the East, man. With some of their uh, some of the changes they've had in the last couple years, man. What you got with the Heat?
I think the Heat are in such a weird spot. And I think this next part of the season will tell a lot about the Heat. They're top 10 in pace, but their offense or defense isn't top 10. Um, but they've been able to be okay sitting at 11-6.
Hmm.
And I think when Tyler Hero comes back, we'll see a lot about whether or not this team needs to make any moves. Um, because like if you look at how they're currently constructed, you would think the Heat would be like a lower tier team in the Eastern Conference, but then you look up and the Heat are sitting in the third spot in the East and are half game back of Toronto for the second seed.
Yeah. Yep. No, you right, man. You are right. They're definitely in a weird spot for sure, man. Hey, man, this next team is definitely a surprise to me, and that's Philadelphia 76ers. Man, I didn't expect the rookie VJ to come in and play the way he's played so far. I didn't know what Joel's absence or in and out the lineup would do. But man, even from that, we got Tyrese Maxey balling. I mean, Tyrese has been holding it down. Yeah, Tyrese been holding it down. Man, you got who's his name? Drummond holding the paint down when you got Embiid out. You got I tell you who my guy is Paul George. Paul George is showing the life to them.
Can't hear you. Uh, Randall, we can't hear you.
Man, my bad. It may be time. It may be time. It may be time for Embiid to. It may be time for them to look for Embiid to be shipped. I don't think you're gonna get much for Embiid, but I would look to the money you're paying Embiid and Paul George and Maxi to fulfill that roster out. It wouldn't see what you can get for Embiid. Get him a fresh start somewhere else on the last stages of his career. I don't think he has much left, honestly, with the way those knees are. Um, I just think it's. I think for them to really make that run, it be. I'd probably see what I could get for him. I watched a few of his games, man. That dude is on one leg for real. Like he really can't do much. But I do think his presence still draw the defenses to key in on him. So he's definitely a good decoy. But yeah, it just may be time to ship him on out of there, man. I'd trade Joel Embiid right now. I'd trade Joel Embiid for old buddy in Memphis, Zach Edey. Even if you got a big like that over there, man, somebody, um, I think that could help. I would, man, just because you're still getting that big body, and in a few years, I mean, Zach, and I mentioned this earlier, like the way he moves is already the way Joel Embiid moves, if not a little bit better. So I mean, once he faces, and the reason why he faces his backs to the basket, he's kind of a traditional big. And I don't, and if you start inside and kick out, Philly's got players where when the pass kicks out, they have players that can make it happen on the perimeter and the wings. So I like what Philly's doing. Again, I don't think they'll be able to make any pretty much any moves beside a trade, which I still don't think they'll do because they got so much money tied into Joel, Paul, and Maxi. It's going to be tough. But your rookie VJ and your bench, they're definitely going to have to help you. Nick Nurse has done a good job this year. Last year, I don't know, it was probably one of his worst years as a coach, but this year I do think he went back to the drawing board. He's put in on a rookie to, kind of be that defensive player over there, like giving that rookie confidence over there. Philly's definitely a team that's going to be in the middle of the pack. I kind of got them where Milwaukee's at in that middle bunch. What about you, man?
I have Philly. I have Philly falling out of the play-in.
Okay.
Um, Philly has a second worst defensive rating uh in the league over the
Mm-hmm.
last 7 games, in which
Yeah.
they've been 3-4.
Mm.
Joel is hurt again, like you said. He hasn't played in a week. Uh yes, that doesn't really affect the offense because the offense is a lot more guard heavy. But with the defense being what it is and it being so porous, like they're already only sitting at 2 games above 500. And if I take a look at their schedule, um, they lost to the Heat today. They play the Magic on two yeah, no, they play the Magic on Tuesday. And then they have games against the Hawks coming up, the Warriors, the Bucks, the Lakers, the Knicks, and the Bulls. And these are games all within the next month. And you're playing those teams with a bottom two defense.
Yeah, that ain't
You
gonna cut
know,
it. No, that ain't gonna cut it. And with Drummond being your big, or especially if Embiid is out, that definitely ain't gonna cut it, man. So, no, you right about that, man. That's why I say it's time to look elsewhere. All right, Philly. I don't eat cheese, but I will eat a cheesesteak. Um, we got Orlando, man. We got them on the list at number 11. Orlando to me, man, has kind of been of a disappointment so far. Um, I just feel like they haven't played to their potential, even with Jalen Suggs coming back. They just, I don't know, man. Paolo hasn't been Paolo. Maybe that's because Jalen's back. I'm not sure. They're a good one-two punch, but I don't know if they. I don't know if. I don't know. Does Jalen know Paolo's the one option? Just the way he plays sometimes just is like, he gets his, and that's cool. Like, I do feel like you got to be, as a point guard in today's time, you have to be a scoring point guard. I mean, I know he does that, but at the same time, um, I mean, numbers speak louder than the word or the actions. Like his numbers this year, compared to the numbers from the team success this year, just has not matching up when he didn't play. I mean, at this with Ty Jones this year, I don't feel like they've acclimated him as much. I thought that was a key pickup for them this year too. But they just haven't really put him in there like that. Black, I don't know why he really doesn't get much playing time, being a 6'7" PG. I'm not really sure what that issue is. Coaching, and I've read reports that there is some dysfunction within coaching and Jamal Mosley and Paolo, so that could be something going on. There's something going on within that locker room. Yeah, they are. Their record is a little bit over five. It looks like they have what 10-7. They're right there. They're definitely going to be in the middle. They're going to be in the middle of the pack, but they just I don't know, man. It's just there's something off over there. I think when they got what's his name, Pope, um, or not Pope, excuse me. They got a buddy over there. They got dude from
Desmond Bain.
Desmond Bain. He hasn't been playing Memphis bad. Like that hasn't transferred over there. I think they 4 first round picks for that. Hey, I need more. I need more from you. That right there is, and that's probably part of it right there. I don't think he shot the ball that well over there. I think there just needs to be a what they call it, the player meetings where they really get on the same page. But I do think once they do get on the same page, they are. a legit team out of there. I mean, before the season, we had them as a top maybe 2, 3 team to come out the East this year, especially with Boston being down, Indiana being down. So I think we had the Magic and the Knicks, one of those two teams coming out the East. Um, I don't know, man. It's just not. It's just so far. It's not looking like that. A lot of season left. What you think, man?
I think the Magic still needs some time to gel. I
Okay.
have seen a lot of promise from them lately. They've been 6-1 in their last 7 games. Uh, Obviously, they have the Desmond Bain buzzer beater win over the Trailblazers. Uh, they blow out the Knicks. They beat the Nets. Their one loss in this the last 7 game stretch was to the Rockets by 4. They beat the Warriors, they blow out the Clippers, and then they beat the Knicks by 12 again. So Orlando's actually uh post that weird start, and a lot of this stretch has been without Paolo, who's been out with injury, with a groin strain. They're 6-1,
Hmm.
and that currently has them sitting at 10-7, tied with the Hawks, I'm pretty sure, for the sixth spot in the East.
I tell you, man, and I'm just it quacks like a duck, sound like a duck. But every player that's out that is ball dominant, when they out, when that their teams are winning because that ball's moving. Uh, I mean, it is what it is. And, back when I played, they called that the Princeton offense in a way. That ball is moving. It doesn't get stuck. So, and shoot, nobody want to play defense that long. But that philosophy is definitely working within the NBA. That's what had the Spurs back in their run be so effective back then. Like they were one of the first teams in the NBA that like they had ball movement. They moved that ball, to get the best shot. So no, man, I do see that 6-1 last 7. I did not know that was without Paulo. So shout out to Magic for holding it down. I guess hey Jalen, you holding it down. Then I see big dog.
Franz Wagner,
Hey,
he been
France and his
hooping.
brother. No, France has been. Hey, what is it? Mass France. That's what they. That's what they
Yeah.
had. It got. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, shout out to y'all, Magic. I guess y'all got the magic. Uh, you got number 9, Toronto Raptors. Definitely a surprise to me. They've been balling over there. I mean, Ingram's been balling over there. Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett. They've been balling. They started off 1-4. They had an easier schedule in that 1-4, but uh, I think just this past week they went undefeated. They went maybe 4-0. Uh, yeah, man, and they're hey, Scotty, RJ, and Brandon are all averaging uh, 19 points and above in the last 5 games. So, with that type of offense, that type of those 3 players being shot creators in a way too, like that's hard to guard when you got 3 guys like that that can put the ball on the ground. Um, Facilitate. Are they the best shooters? No, but it is still hard to guard three guys that can get their shot though. I feel like Brandon Ingram's kind of taking that leap, being that one option over there. Um, I like what I'm seeing over there. I think they get down on defense over there. I think that there'll be a fight. I think they'll drop a little bit though. I do think that they'll be fighting for a play in as the season goes on. But man, I like what I see over there. I didn't really like at first Brandon Ingram being over there, but I think that's exactly what they needed. I think that's what he needed too. Um, so yeah, Toronto will be right there, man. They got good home fan base over there. I think they'll be afloat. I do think they need probably a little bit more shooting slash probably a big in there. They still got what's his name
uh,
Patel.
Jakob Pertl.
Yakapurtle. What did I say? Patel. Yakapurtle. He holds it down. I mean, he can only do so much, but he plays hard. He rebounds. He's just a good IQ big. And I do like those. You got to have those in the league. And Toronto's just one of those teams to me. Yeah, yeah. If you sleep on, they will pop you. So and you got to guard all three. You got to guard R.J. Barrett now. You got to keep Scotty off the boards. He's a tweener to me. Where he's 6'8", 6'9", but plays big, but so athletic, man, and can do a lot of things on the floor. So Toronto's definitely got a good three-headed monster. It's just about surrounding them over there with the right pieces. I think their bench needs a little help. Um, that's probably where I would put RJ at the bench, bringing him off as a six man, kind of having that little James Harden, OKC little vibe. Bring him off and let him do his thing. But no, man, I like what I'm seeing from Toronto.
Yeah, the Raptors have won 8 of their last 9 games.
Mm,
They're they're number one in fast break points. They're number three in assists. They have three guys who legitimately are averaging 20 points. They have a good rookie in Colin Murray. And I feel like right now Scotty Barnes will be an all-star. Uh,
yes.
and you take a look at the Raptors, they're 11-5. They're playing as a unit. Um,
Hmm.
and it's not a lot you can see that's wrong with this team, because if you take a look at their wins, they've had some quality wins in their last couple games. I'm about to pull it. Okay, so in their last couple games, they've beaten the Wizards, they've beaten the 76ers, Pacers,
Hmm.
Hornets, Cavs, Hawks, Bucks, Grizzlies. They've beaten the Cavs twice actually.
Mm.
Um, yeah, and this is a team like they're gelling at the right time,
We are
and
gelling at the
then
right time. Yep.
they're playing the Nets now. They play the Cavs again tomorrow. So their next couple games are
Winnable.
Cavs, Pacers,
Win.
Hornets,
Win.
Knicks, Trailblazers, and then they play the Lakers and then the Hornets.
Oh, so they can go 5-3 in that. Or
And if
yeah.
that Knicks game, it's a question on whether or not Jalen Brunson and OG play because they're both hurt right now.
Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. No, you
So
right. You
the
right.
Raptors could come out of that stretch.
They can come.
Say they go 5-1, Raptors could come out of that stretch and be 16-6.
Ooh. Hmm. And that what are they in the East right now? What are they?
Second.
They second in the East?
Yep.
Hey man, see, they playing. No, no, no. They are definitely playing. Hey, and to your point earlier, man, like when we was talking about like the Warriors, you gotta have some youth. You gotta have some youth on that team, man. And that's a team right there predicated like them cats are all probably what 25, 26 years old, man. Like
Yeah, all their main three guys are in their early to mid 20s.
ain't even hit really their prime yet. That's what's
I
scary
think
too.
the oldest of the three is Brandon Ingram, and I think he may be 27.
20, yeah, right, right. He may just be entering that prime. Yeah, 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 yeah. Man. Shout out to the Raptors, man. Shout out to the Raptors. All right, man. We got next. Hold on. We got the Minnesota Timberwolves, man, sitting at the eighth spot. 10 and at this time 10-5. Uh I'm surprised. I don't know why I thought their record was worse than that. I haven't really. I'm gonna be honest. Just I haven't felt like Anthony Edwards has played up to his level this year.
Mhm.
Maybe starting off with that hammy, maybe that just derailed him. But I don't know, man. And then the other night missing the two free throws against Phoenix, like little stuff like that is just like, bro, what, like, come on, man. And I don't know, man. I love his passion and his talking and what he does, but just sometimes, man, it's just like it just ain't translating. Like I even don't like the fact that like when he first came into the league, man, like that dude was just dunking on everybody, just really letting you know like I'm coming at you. And he kind of to me, he's kind of fell into that like everybody shoots threes, so I'm gonna shoot threes. And yes, he can hit his threes, but he's fallen in love with the three ball. I would like to see him use that as like yeah, that's your bag, but predicate on getting to the bucket, getting to the free throw line, staying in that mid post, make the game be easier for you. So you can stay healthier, and be there for the team. And then within time, the three ball will always be there. But he'll try to mix you up out there, step back, and hit you with the three. And it's like, bro, like I'm not saying you can't hit that, but you're taking away of your advantage on a lot of the players. Like you can jump higher, you're faster, your creativity, you're strong. Like man, get to the bucket and get to the line. But I get it too. With injury prone players like that too, they try to stay away from getting injured too, and say, hey, I'll just make the game a little easier and predicate it on the perimeter side. But it kind of takes away though, man. But I ain't gonna lie, man. I just was surprised with their record. Julius Randle though, he's been holding it down for them. I feel like Naj Reed, everybody's kind of stepped up in the place of while Edwards was out during that time. I just seen on here too, man. Edwards had 4 games where he shot below 20 shot below 50% from the field and less than 20% from three. So it's just letting me know right then and there, man. You're not getting to the bucket, and you're predicated kind of on the threes, man. But if he gets back to the old Anthony Edwards, man, they'll be just fine. Hey, big man, what's his name? Drawing blank here.
Oh, Rudy
Rudy
Gobert.
Gobert. Rudy Gobert. He's surprised me. I felt like he kind of came off to me within his role being kind of like what you call like a, I don't know, man. He was kind of divish at first, but now I feel like he's kind of accepted his role. He's just playing within the offense, just being a good vet, being a good teammate. He doesn't let the outside noise kind of rattle him. There's just been a lot of plays throughout the last couple years on him where some players just give up in a way, confidence just I don't know, man. Like I think of two things. I think of the dunk from Christian on Denver, and I think of Luca, and just those little plays can kind of just really, I don't know, rattle you. But Rudy Gobert stays even kill to me. He plays his role. He's been playing great D. Shaved his head bald. You gotta watch brothers that shave their head bald, boy. They come back. They come back different, bro. So I've been more happy with the team of Minnesota rather than just predicated on Anthony Edwards. Julius Randle took that one option while he was out. I thought he did good. He was shooting good. He's also been a player I felt like that went back to what made him successful in the league. He kind of fell in love with the three ball, but he's kind of gotten back to mixing it up. So once Edwards gets healthy and kind of can stay healthy, I think they'll be just fine. They're a team to me that the regular season won't show how good they are, but they'll probably turn it on once that first round of the playoffs start for sure.
Yeah. Taking a look at the Timberwolves, they're number 5 in offense, number 3 in true shooting percentage, and they're number 5 in 3-point percentage.
Mm,
And they're sitting at 10-6 right now, and they have they have a pretty tough schedule, like a mix of tough and easy games coming up within the next month.
okay.
So the Timberwolves play the Kings, the Thunder, the Celtics, the Spurs, the Pelicans twice, the Clippers, Suns, Grizzlies, the Thunder again, the Bucks, Knicks, Nuggets,
Mm,
Nets, Bulls, Hawks. So I feel like we're gonna learn a lot about the Minnesota Timberwolves within this next month,
definitely.
especially in those games against the Nuggets and the 2 games against the Thunder.
Oh yeah, no, 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 for sure. And I got them losing all three. But yeah, we will definitely see, man. OKC's they got their number. I mean, it just is what it is. Shout out to you, Minnesota. Y'all definitely held it down without Anthony Edwards. We're gonna go to number 7. That's them boys, the Lakers. We touched a little bit with the Lakers, with LeBron, back in there and what he brought, what he's gonna bring. Luca's playing at an MVP level. Austin Reeves has showed what he can do. He's kind of, I ain't gonna say he fell off a little bit. I think he had a little injury there, but I think they'll be just fine. Austin Reeves has definitely this year is his best year so far. He's definitely stepped into a role of not just a third option, second option, but even a one option if need be. So I know that's good for the Lakers. He bet on himself too. I was one person that was definitely critical of him not taking that contract, not getting his money this summer, but he said, "Hey, I'll get another 20 to 25 extra, and I'm gonna show you why." And he's definitely showed me why. Uh, I mean, they're not even really picking on him on defense no more. Like that's also surprised me too. Shout out to you, Austin Reeves. You definitely made me a believer, Lemon Daddy. And then everybody else on there too. Aiton's been playing well, playing his role. Man, he's kind of resurged his self. As far as a big kind of getting back to. I can't even say getting back to, but kind of what we've been expecting from you since you kind of came into the league. He fell in love with kind of that midi, kind of showing that he could do everything. But sometimes you don't have to do everything depending on the team that you're on. And I feel like with this Laker team, he needs to just be leading in rebounds, leading in blocks, setting these screens and rolls for Luka. And if they throw it down there to you, yes, do your thing, but not be so predicated on them throwing you or being included in the offense, so to speak. And I think when he just plays his role as that big, that lively, kind of had with the Mavericks with Luca, man, they'll be just fine over there. Tell me the other guy off the bench that's shooting. Wasn't that we picked up? What's his name?
Jake LaRavia.
Jake LaRavia been shooting that ball, confidence over there. I love that with him. And then speaking of players like LeBron and Lucas, they love players that probably like that too. Just good IQ, spot up shooters. Same thing with Gabe Vincent. Same concept. Smaller guy, but same concept. Smart, hard nosed, knows where to be. He's always ready. Then you got Marcus Smart, that swift army knife. He just does everything. I like to pick when they got him, but it shows me how he can help. It's not going to show in the box score, but man, it's going to show with loose balls. It's going to show with rattling other players, getting them a little fired up, or getting them out their game, so to speak. He's not shy of the moment. He kind of can almost shoot you out the game. That's how not shy he is. But I mean I like that though, man. Like he's hungry. He's not afraid of those moments, man. You got to have some of them dogs on the team. And I feel like even when he was with the Celtics, that's what made them so competitive is because you had stuff like that, you had plays like that, and so that's only going to help the Lakers, especially with a little bit older, not old, but man, some of them brothers ain't. He's probably the only guy I think that's flying on the floor. Austin Reeves is flying on there, but you know what I mean. Like you got to have them dogs on the team, and he's definitely one of them. So. I'm thrilled with the Lakes. I will say the only thing I don't really care for is still the Bronny thing. I don't think Bronny should be starting any game. I don't care what's going on over there. Bronny, like he just needs reps. It's not the fact that he can't play or shouldn't be playing. It's just like, man, this dude is starting and I think I just read that he got assigned to the G League, but that's where he needs to be getting his reps at. Like, I don't if he's not there's no proven dues that he's done to be to get the clock that he gets. And I get, a side of that, who his dad is and all that, but sometimes it's almost like it's forced. And being a Laker fan, I don't like that sometimes because we're about putting out the best product and getting these championship banners up there, man. That's all we know about. Like, stroking LeBron and Bronny's ego, I ain't really for all that. I just don't like that by JJ, and I know why JJ does it. I get it, but I don't know. That's my only little thing I could say about the Lakers. Other than that, happy camper over here. I like where they're sitting at. I mentioned earlier, I think if they could get that top seed at the end of the year, where that can give them some rest, home court advantage, possible, less team to play against. I think the last couple of years they had the Memphis or Denver. They had Denver first last couple of years. We don't want that this year. Like we need a I don't know, man. We need a who's a team? We need if Sacramento makes the play in the 8 hours,
Or
we need a Sacramento
Trailblazers.
to go against the first round or something, man. So no, man. Shout out to Lakers and the organization, man. JJ Redick got him playing well. Happy LeBron is back. He's definitely gonna help them. Um, yeah, what you got, man, with the Lakes?
I think the Lakers have played some pretty good basketball so far. I know JJ uses Bronny more for his defense, and in the games that Bronny has played, like they have won those games. The Lakers are what 11-4, and they're sitting tied. I'm pretty sure they're one game behind Denver for the second seed in the West. They've won three in a row. LeBron just got back. They win that game. And they have a relatively soft schedule coming up for LeBron to get back in shape. Like they play the Clippers, Mavericks, Pelicans, Suns, Raptors, Celtics, 76ers, Jazz, Clippers, Suns, Rockets, Kings, and then Pistons.
Mm,
So their toughest games will be the Rockets, Pistons, and Raptors. Other than that, you're playing teams hovering around 500 or below 500.
don't definitely winnable games too. So no, that's definitely, and I love that LeBron came back against the Jazz because that's exactly to your point. You know, those type of games for him to get in shape and just get acclimated for sure on that. And touche with Bronny, I do think they definitely use that for defensive purposes. You right on that. That's a fact. That's a fact. We're gonna get back to number 6. We got the Spurs. I mean, it wasn't no shock really to us. I think we had them as a team to look out for the beginning of the season. We knew Wimby was coming on that. Wimby was my pick for may have been my pick for MVP or a sleeper, but we knew he was going to be coming out playing well. Um, they played well without De'Aaron Fox, you know, even though he's came back and kind of held them up afloat, you know, since he's been back. Um, they played well without him, with Wimby holding it down, with Stephon Castle and Devin Vassell and Harrison Barnes and Keldon Johnson and the Wimby man. They like that core. They definitely held it together. They played with good pace. They knew the roles. They knew Wimby was on one, offense and defense. Um, he's out right now. Uh, he's kind of. I'm not saying he's injury prone, but he's kind of it's already kind of getting that like man when he's healthy he's already getting that label in a way, and I mean I get it, but it's just like man like we I don't want that for him because man when he is out there and he's healthy man, not only is he good for the Spurs, man he's actually good for the NBA. When I watched those first couple games this season of his man and just how he was how that takeover he was doing, bro, he was Wimby was arguably the best player in the league those first 5 6 games,
Oh yeah.
uh, offense and defense. I mean, he's good for the NBA. Like I was talking to homeboys, like, "Hey, I may get me a Wimby jersey." Like he makes me a fan. Just like face of the league. He's a good. This comes off as a good guy. He's about basketball. There's no outside drama. Kids like him. He's already got the logo, the alien logo. Like they are pushing Wimby. I do think that he has that aura about him, and I just want him to stay healthy, man. If he could stay healthy, the Spurs are something to be reckoned with. I do question mark. Can you keep Darian Fox and Stephon Castle on the court together? That's going to be something that I'm going to keep my eye on. But other than that, man, the Spurs are their team success wise. Am I shocked? Yes, but I'm not shocked just based off the play of Wimby. Um, I think that they'll fall down just a little bit, probably in that 5, 6, 7 range in the West, which is still pretty good in the West. Wimby definitely will have to be healthy. I want to see Wimby in the playoffs. Specifically, I want to see Wimby against the physical playoff defense when the refs and let you play a little bit. I want to just see him get down a little bit more against that. But other than that, man, Spurs have been playing well. Um, got to keep an eye on them, man. They're a threat in the West right now. What you think about them?
I think the Spurs have been a really nice team.
Yeah,
Um, I think they got back on track with wins over Sacramento and Memphis after the back to back losses to Golden State. But now Wimby, he's out for a couple weeks, and over that stretch, they play the Trailblazers, Nuggets, Timberwolves, Grizzlies, Magic, Cavs, Hawks, and the Thunder twice.
dang, I only counted 2 wins.
And they got some bottom feeder, a couple bottom feeders sprinkled in there, like the Wizards, uh, Pelicans, and Grizzlies. So in their next 10 games, those are they 10 opponents.
They'll go 5-5 without Wimby in there. So if they can go 5-5, I'll take that without Wimby. If they can get 500 out of that, I'll take that because it's gonna be tough, bro, without Wimby. Wimby's such the mismatch. Hey, and now I'm thinking, who is the backup center for them?
Um, he played in Boston. Luke Cornett.
Oh, boy, they better. They I hope they go 5-5. Man, that De'Aaron Fox is gonna have to show too, man. He's gonna have to him and Cap like they're gonna have to come together collectively for sure on that. Man, that's a tough 10 games, man. Besides there's 3 bottom feeders. Those. Ooh, it's gonna be tough on that, man. All right, Spurs, we're gonna see what y'all made of, man. We're gonna see. And but before I go, and that's what I mean with Wimby, like with that health like that. And I know they're playing it safe being a calf strain because we all know what calf strains can lead to. So I'm glad they're
Yeah.
giving him some time, but at the same time, it's like, gosh, man, like that's a lot of time, but it's not a lot of time off. It's just those 10 games and that what is it, 2 weeks that he's out? Man, that hurts, man.
Yeah, that was 2 3 weeks,
Man,
especially with the seven against, like those games are against like playoff teams.
playoff
Like
teams,
you
yes, sir.
playing the Nuggets, Timberwolves, Magic, Trailblazers, Cavs, Hawks, and then
Mm,
the Thunder twice.
mm, 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 mm.
And they play the Thunder on the 23rd and then on Christmas. So you playing them 2 days later again.
It's gonna get ugly, man. Oh, hey, Spur Wimby, uh, they need you, buddy. Get well soon, man. Hey, man, number 5, New York Knicks. Um, I'm a. I'll say this, man. I'm not surprised with their start. I don't think it, and this ain't no knock, but I don't really think it has anything to do with Mike Brown. I actually think with the way they've started is kind of underachieved in my opinion compared to the last couple of years
Yeah.
under Thibodeau. Um, Mike Brown just has never been it for me. I don't know, man. Maybe I got a sour taste in my mouth from the Lakers when he had his stint there. But I don't know, man. Mike Brown to me is a great assistant. I don't know if he's a top head coach in the league. I think he still gets kind of praised or maybe looked at from that year with LeBron back in the day. But I just haven't seen it since him. I don't know if he has his X's and O's and his philosophy translates to today. Um, I know I remember when the season started, he said he wanted the Knicks to shoot more threes. And I just was thinking in my head, like, don't tell Carl Anthony Towns that. Don't let those type of players hear that, man. Want to shoot more threes,
No.
man. We don't let them hear that, man. So I don't know about that. I think healthy though, and if they lock up defensively, they'll be right there in the mix. I do think they'll be there. They don't want to slip down to where they're not a top 4 team in the East. That's for sure. They want to make sure they at least get that home court advantage.
Oh yeah.
Um,
You want to
if
have people come to the Garden.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. But other than that, I'll tell you something too. I'm really not OG and Mikael Bridges. I don't know about that. I just don't know. I don't know about that. Um, it would me personally, I may be looking to because I don't like what's coming off the bench. I don't think with Clarkson. You got Shemet just got hurt. Larry Shemet just got hurt. So then you really just got McBride and you got Clarkson, and Clarkson's just been up and down. He's not playing like the Utah Clarkson. Um, Maybe you trade. Maybe you could look at OG and see what you can get from him to get something to boost that bench up a little bit. You already got your wing over there. I just don't know why you need both of those wings over there. Defensive purposes, yes, I do think that's definitely helping you, but um,
You would
I
have
don't
to
know.
you look at their series against the Celtics this last year. That was
Okay,
the reason for having the two
that's
wings,
true. That's true.
to have them both to guard Jalen Brown and
And
Jason
Tatum,
Tatum. But when there is no Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum, it's a weird combination.
yeah,
But they brought them together for that purpose. The New York had built their team
to
to
beat
beat Boston.
facts. Facts. Not. Hey, we gonna leave it there. That's a fact. That's it right there. That's it right there. That's it. Anything else you need to add to him?
It's just gonna be weird for a little bit because like Brunson and OG are hurt,
Yeah, they're
and
random. Yeah.
their on off numbers as far as their offense with and without Jalen, and their defense with and without OG, it's like stepping off a cliff.
Ooh.
And I know one thing that needs to get emphasized is tell Cat to post up. And I don't Cat lets like yes, Cat is a great shooter as a big man. Um, but he lets a lot of teams off the hook by he'll come down the court, catch the ball in 1-2
Mhm.
into a three, no movement, no putting pressure on the defense by forcing them to have to collapse on him because he's imposing force inside. He just wants 1-2 into a three.
That's crazy, man. No, no, no. That's crazy. That's a fact though. That's a fact. Number 4, man, we got Detroit. Looks like Detroit. We got a 13-2 at the time. Number 4 in the rankings. Man, they back to Detroit basketball. They've been playing collectively. I like that Jalen Duran's kind of been stepping into being that second option. I'm glad he stepped in and got old buddy out of there, Isaiah Stewart. I can't get down with. He a dog, but his antics and the way he just do things
Yeah.
sometimes throw me off. But hey, every team needs somebody like that, so I get it. Cade Cunningham's playing at an MVP level. Shout out to him. Got his signature shoe coming out. Man, no, Detroit is back to it, man. They got an identity over there. They're a force to be reckoned with over there. Man, they got it all over there. I mean, they got shooting, they got size, they got the ball handlers, coaching. Man, they just with this the route they're on, man. And Duran averaging 23 and 13 and 2 assists, one steal. Like goodness gracious, like he's been balling, man. So, man, with that and Cade, man, dude, and Jalen Jaden Ivey's coming back, off the injury, so that'll be good off the bench for them. Man, Detroit is gonna be definitely that sleeper. That if they come out the East, would I be shocked this year with Boston and Indiana down? No, I would not be, man. They're definitely a team to keep the eye on, man. What you think?
I think Detroit, they've won 11 in a row.
Mm,
They've been elite on the offensive and defensive end. Jalen Duren has been the league's best offensive rebounder, and he's 21. And in their last 5 games, he's averaging 25 points. He's shooting 75% from the field, and he's averaging 12.8 boards.
come on, man.
And in some of these games, within the 11-game win streak, Cade has not played.
Yep, facts.
Detroit is such a good unit, like on offense and defense. Uh, like it's to the point now where, in a good majority of their matchups in the leagues, you would favor them in these games.
That's a fact. Nope, that's a
And
fact.
I feel like they have that hard nosed identity again that Detroit basketball used to have. And I feel like now, like not only are they good, but they know it, they feel it.
Ooh, yeah.
And now they're the number one seed in the East. Uh, the only team with a better record in them in basketball is the Thunder, and it's by a singular game.
Yep.
and they're just they're so young. They're only trending upwards.
That's a fact. And without Malik Beasley allegedly gambling thing last year, that one play, I mean, they're a play away from beating the Knicks. They're a play away from beating the Knicks to get to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. So, man, shout out to Detroit, man. Detroit basketball is back. Number three, man, we got Denver Nuggets. Ain't no surprise here, man. You know, you got arguably one of the top 1, 2 player in the league in Joker. He's doing Joker things. Biggest thing that surprises, or the biggest thing to me with their success is just, man, their overall team. I feel like they just got it from top to bottom. They definitely revamped that their bench this year. That's gonna definitely help them going forward. Additions of Valanciunas,
Yeah, getting
addition
Bruce Brown back.
getting Bruce back, got Tim Hardaway Jr. in there. You still got players like Peyton Watson the other night dropped 32, 12 rebounds, like stuff like that, man. And not to mention Queen was going at Joker, but man, it's when they got others like this going, man. Oh man, they're gonna be tough. And I'm glad they did do it because or go out and go get some other help because man, I do feel like without them getting some help this year. They were on the downward of potentially Joker looking somewhere else because they
Oh yeah.
just with him and Murray, you already lost Michael Porter. I mean, man, it was looking ugly. And a lot of these games they've won has been without what's his name, Aaron Gordon. I see he's out too for the next couple of weeks. But I don't think they're going to miss a beat. I do know they need him, and he's a great addition, but they're not going to they kind of have the plug-ins now like OKC has. OKC has plug-ins. Like, man, one goes down, they got somebody to fill it right back up. Don't even know their name, but they got somebody to fill it right back up. So, man, as long as they got the others and you got the Joker and Jamal Murray with that pick and roll two-man game, man, they're going to be right there in the Western Conference, contending to get in the finals. As long as they stay healthy, Cam Johnson. I do think that they did not win the trade with that and Michael Porter, but I do feel like they won it as far as Cam is gonna play the right way and make the right passes and maybe not so many contested shots and get him up. But I feel like we'll know in the playoffs, you know, I guess maybe take that back. We'll know who won that trade in the playoffs because you need that type of shot making ability that Michael Porter did bring to you. But at the same time, Cam Johnson's a good, wing 3-and-D player. I think his quick excessiveness of the play will be just as effective as if he did make the shot. He may make the right play super quick for the next person to get a better shot. So I do like that too. But I thought he was just come over and kind of be in that 12 to 16 point range. But I don't think I've seen the guy score above 12. I don't know. Especially I don't know. I just thought Phoenix and Brooklyn, he would be kind of translating into that offensive type of guy. But I mean, that's okay. I mean, he's playing his role. But other than that, man, I don't have nothing really with the Nuggets, man. They're gonna be right there. They actually got better than last year, so that's scary to think.
Yeah, Denver is top three in offense and defense this year, and I do think those additions have a lot to do with that. Last year, the Nuggets got into this game where it was literally on the starting five, or they were going to lose,
Yeah.
um, and a lot of that was predicated on Jokic,
Yep.
and they still lose the non-Jokic minutes, but it's the lowest point differential in non-Jokic minutes since they won the championship.
And that's Valanciunas. Valanciunas is a vet. He makes the right play. That's a great backup for him. So I think that's a big addition for that for sure, man. For sure, for sure. Number two, Houston Rockets, H Town. Number two power ranking, man. Man, with the addition of KD, improvement of Sangoon, uh, man, I ain't gonna lie, even losing Fred VanVleet, I thought they were gonna be struggling, man, but they've seemed to figure it out.
Oh
With
yeah.
even Thompson bringing the ball, running the one. KD may need to run. Hey man, Sangoon runs the one sometime. So it's scary, man, just the way that they've been able to adapt to that loss of Fred, but being able to kind of go through that adversity. Um, I also I also liked when Reed Shepard, when he plays. I've seen the last couple of games when he balls out and he puts up his points. Man, hey, like they're even tougher to beat, man. He kind of has a little different game than Fred, or a different bringing to the table than Fred does. So I mean, that's just a different dynamic. I feel like when Reed Shepard's in there, man, with his shot making ability. So, man, I like everything I see from the Rockets. I like when they got man, I'm drawing a blank on the who's the forward over there, man. Tall dude, the forward that what's his name? Tattoos.
Cam Whitmore,
Nope, nope, nope. Tall, the
uh,
power forward. Um,
Jabari Smith.
Jabari Smith. When Jabari Smith, yeah, when he's playing in his 12 to 15 point range too, man, he's done transitioned up. His shot making, his 3 point shots has definitely improved. I like what I'm seeing from him. The trajectory of everybody on that team went up from last year to this year. Sangoon is probably in the top what? He's in the top 5 MVP right now, with the way he's been playing. Baby Joker. I mean, with your team, what they're number two in the they're number three in the West.
Yeah.
Uh, Number three in the
Or
West.
no, they should be number 4
Number four. Oh, dang, who's number
because we're
four?
number 3. No, they're
Oh yeah,
number
yeah, yeah.
5
They're
actually.
number four. They're number five. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Man, it's so close right there, though. Man, that's how scary it's going to be in the West. I do think they'll traject up a little bit. Um, them and them with the man with KD over there, man. I just won't be surprised if they can get in that two to five range. And I don't like them not getting a top four. If I were them, I'm definitely aiming for a top four for sure. But man, I'm liking what I see from the Rockets. Defensively, they're locking in. Man, they play hard, man, and with that taller lineup, man, they're a mismatch over there. I would like to see what they do by trade deadline. If they go maybe get a point guard. Um, I don't know, man. Can you even get somebody like if you don't go superstar, player, get somebody like Mike Conley. If Mike Conley is not, if they and I say him because I know he hasn't been playing much over there in Minnesota with them trying to acclimate uh, uh,
Rob Dillingham.
Rob Dillingham. But just a veteran PG that's just gonna get the offense in sync. I think playoff time comes is when we're really gonna see where having a traditional point guard will be important for the Rockets. Every team that we just named that's in front of them in the West has a point guard that can slow the game down and get the offense in motion. So that'll be my only thing concerned about Houston, man. But other than that, coaching, KD seems happy. Everything looks good, man. There's no egos seems to be over there, man. So Houston's definitely gonna be a force to be reckoned with this year for sure, man. What you got?
Um, I think the point guard problem that we had talked about with Van Vliet being out has kind of been nixed in the bud a little
Yeah,
bit by Sengun and Amin Thompson. And
yeah,
I think everybody else is bought into like there isn't one set person who brings it up. Like we can all do it and
yeah.
initiate the offense. And they pulled down offensive rebounds at a historic rate. Um, Having Steven Adams and Sengun and just having all those like tall guys
Clint
who
Capella.
are, yeah, and they're all willing to rebound. And I
Yeah.
think that's a testament to Ime Udoka as a coach because he's done a really great job without having a true point guard.
Yep.
And because of that, the Rockets have won 4 straight and 9 of their last 10. And they're the NBA's best offense right now.
Man, totally agree. Totally agree, man. Shout out to H Town. Last but not least, OKC. We
Man, I
man,
mean, they
yeah.
really, yeah.
Ain't really much to talk about. Shea to me is the best player in the league, man. He's just different. And let's just throw this out there, man. They doing this without Jalen Williams.
He
Like
ain't played a game.
he ain't even played a game, man. Like I don't get it, man. So
And the one game they lost, they had a 22-point lead in. They could be 17-0 right now.
it'd be 17-0 right now, man. So no, hey, ain't really too much to say. Chet's been doing his thing. Shea's been doing his thing. Wiggins, Mitchell, hey, Mitchell, that the lefty done came in and just man, where'd he come from? I don't even know, man. So Wallace hits his open shots, man. That dude, man, and endured, man. They just lock. They play defense, man. And I've watched a couple of their games, man. When you think they're down in the third or the fourth, man, they have a switch, and when their switch just turns on, it's tough. It's tough, man. And sometimes the switch doesn't even start with Shea scoring. It could start with Shea just facilitating and just getting those others going. And then when he sees them going, that's when he go. It's just man, it's
Yeah.
actually good basketball to watch. And if no level, no matter what level you're at, to watch them play basketball is something I think all levels should be watching, man. When it comes to defense, translates to offense, and defense definitely wins those games. And even Shea's improved on his defensive side of the ball. He's improved on the 3-point shooting. So man, OKC
Yeah.
is going to be right there. I'm not going to be surprised. They're really my pick to repeat.
Yeah. If you take a look at a lot of their games, they aren't particularly close wins either. And I,
No,
I
not
read
at
a
all.
I read a stat where it's been like 7 or 8 times, and Shea averages like 33 or 35. It's been 7 or 8 times with he still averages that and he has not played in the fourth quarter.
Man, that is crazy, man. Like, hey, man, and even shout out to their coach, man. They got if he
Oh,
ain't
mark
coaching,
that. Yeah.
man, hey, man, just shout out to them. Shout out to the front office, man. They still may get a top with the way the Clippers is playing. Man, they still may get a top five pick this year too to come to
The
the
rich,
team.
yeah. I saw it get discussed. The rich are about to get richer. Not only are they the number one team in basketball, but they have the Clippers picks, their own picks, the Mavericks pick in a pick swap. Um, and that's over the next couple of years while still maintaining their young core.
The young core, and what that lets me know though too, those players like Mitchell, Wallace, Wiggins, maybe even a Lou Dort, like those others, they're going to be asking for the bigger bag somewhere else, rightfully so. But they're not going to the OKC. They're not going to lose a step if they lose those players because they got top five picks coming in that they're going to develop. To replace those guys. So to your point, as long as they got that core, I think that they're going to be just fine. But those other players, OKC is going to be an organization in the next 5 to 6 years where they get paid. Like players come there to get paid and then
Yeah.
you can go do your thing, man. So shout out to OKC, man. Y'all definitely are a fan favorite, but just a good brand of basketball, man. So shout out to y'all. Just hope y'all don't just hope y'all don't win against them Lakers. So hey, man. That wraps it up, man. We went 2 hours and 30 something minutes. Good basketball talk. It really didn't feel like 2 hours and 30 minutes, but man, that's what the NBA does, man. When you talking hoops, man. Always pleasure to get with you, Marcus. For all y'all watching, man, please, please, please make sure y'all go like, subscribe, share on all the platforms: Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We're everywhere, man. Share it with your friends, your family, to grow our page. If there's anything else, with content, man, leave it in the comments. Let us know what we could do. Me and Marcus, man, we're going to be back at y'all next Sunday, covering the rest of the week, this coming up week, Thanksgiving games, things of that nature, man. We appreciate y'all, Marcus. Appreciate you, big dog.
All right, bro.
All right, man. We'll check y'all later, man.